Mike Weiner here. I'm going to turn it over to Michelle Wilson. Welcome to the Extravaganza Spring 2022. Michelle, Vice President of NRG.
All right, well, welcome everybody. We're excited that you're here. We're going to go ahead and get things rolling because we have a lot of content and we want to make sure we have time to do all the things that we want to do to help you grow and expand your business and get you the information that you came for. We are excited that you are here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself out of the way and I'm going to introduce the first person who's going to be speaking and talking, and that's going to be Mike Weiner. Mike Weiner is the CEO of NRG. He's been in this game for 23 years. He has a passion to help people. The other thing I love about this is that Mike used to do a few meetings in very small central locations, and they were live meetings. When the pandemic happened, he decided it was time to pivot and we went to Zoom. And since then, we've had exponential, huge growth within this company. And just recently, we are actually started to take off even faster than we were before. So Mike is such a great guy in the fact that he has that attitude to serve. So everyone in the organization is important to him. He wants to serve you the best way that he possibly can. He is a connector. He has contacts like you wouldn't believe. And I laugh because Ronnie will say that he may connect you to someone he went to kindergarten with because he stays in contact with people all the time. So he has a huge database of people that he knows and that trust him. He is very energetic in the fact that when he runs this meeting, it is very on point. You never feel like it's a drag or that you're not moving in the right direction. So without further ado, I want to thank him for everything that he does for us. I want to thank him for his commitment to each and every one of us and our success. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Mike.
Hey, Michelle, thank you very much. So real quick, I want to welcome everybody to the Spring NRG Extravaganza. Really excited to be here. And believe it or not, this month we've been on Zoom for 2 years. So I'm going to make a couple of opening comments, and then we're going to get right into the program. We have a keynote speaker around 2 o'clock today from Philly on Law of Attraction. We have sponsors. We're going to have a breakout room because you guys wanted it. So we listened to you, and here comes a breakout room. Julie is going to be hosting that for me, my amazing virtual assistant. Want to thank all the expansion directors for coming here early. We now have 32 expansion directors helping us around the country. And Jeff Kyle, you're amazing. 2 of the 3 in Pittsburgh joined the other day. So thank you very much. The culture of NRG, Law of Attraction, all the way, serving people, helping people manifest their goals, attitude of gratitude. And we have what makes NRG great, not just the weekly meetings. Michelle runs a unbelievable kick-ass mastermind twice a month. Bring your biggest problem there. She will fix you up. We have a speaker series 2 weeks from today. It's a can't miss. It's a Gab day. We got Gab coming on. She's going to be our keynote speaker in 2 weeks. You don't want to miss it. June 3rd is the next Extravaganza. Don't go on vacation. Not a good idea. You want to book yourself to the Extravaganza summer, June 3rd. We are growing like a weed. I know 11 a.m. The other morning, we had 3 new members in. I mean, we have unprecedented growth, expanding everywhere, nationally, internationally. What really is unique about NRG is the people. People like Michelle Wilson, people like Mike Schmidt, people like Dr. Z, all the expansion directors. We are here together, united front, to help us get things done. People like Anita, Lisa Rodina, it goes on and on. Even my new New York friend, Paul. It's rocking and rolling. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our first speaker. We actually had someone share a sponsorship. We're going to go to Pixie Insurance, the leader of Sarasota, Jen Matthew. We're going to kick off with her. And then as soon as she is done, we're going to go to Lori Abramson with U.S. Health Advisors. So Jen, are you here?
Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So we got 10 minutes allocated. I'm going to go to you. And then when you're done, I'm just going to have Lori go right next. You don't have to come back to me in the studio, as I say. And we are recording this. This will be going out to all the members. So if you're not a member, get a hold of me by the end of the weekend. So Jen, you're amazing. We love you. You made me do a meeting for you while I was on vacation. Go ahead and kick us off. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, yes, welcome everybody. Again, Jen Mette, Pixie Health Insurance, the health and Medicare connoisseur, offering comprehensive coverage for people under 65 and over 65. But I'm not here to really talk about that. I'm here to talk about experience and being in this for 17 years. And I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to choose a really good health insurance agent. So I'm going to just go ahead and roll right into it. And this is how you're going to kind of check it out. So number 1, when you come and you want to quote for somebody for health insurance, do they ask you a ton of questions that are relevant? And I mean relevant to your situation. Are they talking about fishing or are they talking about what you need? And then number 2, when they communicate back with the appointment as the agent, does the agent show up? Or do they seem to reschedule that appointment a couple different times? Because if they're busy now, they're going to be busy as a client as well when you're a client, and you might not be able to get them on the phone. Number 3, probably the most important thing, when you come to that appointment, make sure that they're educating you on the proper products that they already should have asked you questions on, and not, again, veering off the topic, because that can happen. And then number 4, they don't take shortcuts. When they come to you with a quote, it doesn't look like pre-packaged policies. It's actually some policies or different products that are tailored to, again, what you started to talk about to begin with. And finally, gratitude. Does the health insurance agent thank you? Do they send you an email? Do they send you a text? And do they send you some tchotchkes because they're grateful for you? And speaking of grateful, I am so grateful to be an expansion director for Florida. I love it, and I love NRG. So I want all of you to get a seat, get something to eat, and enjoy NRG.
Awesome, Jan. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. You do a great job in Florida. Now we're going to go to Lori Abramson, who has secured all 3 groups in Florida. So, Lori, we're going to give you the floor. Take up the rest of the few minutes we have.
Great. Thanks so much. Let me share my screen real quick, and we'll get this started. There we go. As Mike said, I am Lori Abramson. I am with PPLSI, Legal Shield, and ID Shield. We are excited to be celebrating 50 years this year, protecting and empowering over 4 million lives in North America. I want to take a few minutes real quickly to talk about identity theft. You know, we all have our life insurance and our homeowners insurance and our car insurance in place to protect our assets, but what do we do to protect our most important asset, which is our identity? And as you can see, it's more than just about your credit card. It's all about our personal permanent information that is irretrievably out there with every school we've gone to, every job we've had, every doctor's office or hospital or credit application we put out. Our information is out there, and unfortunately the thieves are buying and selling it, and it's going around on the dark web. And we really need to be very, very vigilant about what we put out there and how we handle things. You know, our information can be like I said, it can be bought, it can be sold, it can be in places that we don't even realize it. So we want to always be aware, be vigilant on any emails that you get, any phone calls that you get, any texts that you receive. Don't respond to things unless you know exactly who they're coming from. You know, the IRS does not call you and tell you, leave a message that you're going to jail because you haven't paid your taxes. And I can tell you, my husband and I together are probably going to jail about 5 times. The credit card companies won't call and ask you for your information and tell you that you're behind in payments. We had a call the other day from our utility company saying that we were in shutdown notice, and anyone that has a home in the Midwest understands in the middle of winter, the last thing you want is to have your furnace shut off. Fortunately, my husband did not call them back at the number they had requested. When I called them, she reassured me that we were not in shut off status, our account is full, and they have no record of them even reaching out to us. So what had happened is they had spoofed that number to make it look like it came exactly from the utility company. So there's so many different things. Identity theft can manifest itself in different ways. Someone can get an account in your name, credit cards in your name, loans in your name, apply for Social Security benefits in your name, take your driver's license, put their information on it, their picture on it. So now it's their driver's license. Someone does medical fraud for you, they can get procedures and medications in your name, and that just co-mingles with your own medical information. And now you may have on the record health conditions that you don't have or medicines that you're not really taking. People can get jobs in your name, apply for unemployment, do tax return fraud, which happened to me. I had someone apply for a tax return under my Social Security in my name. It came out of Florida. 2 years later, it happened again, and it came out of Maryland. And there have been at least 6 more attempts. So it's so important to have some place to turn to when these things happen. And I want to share that with you. Child identity theft is big because they can use child's information, their date of birth, their Social Security number, and their name. And they can apply for loans. They can rent places. They can get accounts in your name. So what do we do to try to put ourselves in the best position and give ourselves peace of mind and protection and security? Our 2 flagship services that help surround you and protect you are our Legal Service Plan and our ID Shield Service Plans. As you can see, there's a lot that goes on with life. So ask yourself if you've had your will revised or written. So many times we're married, we're divorced, we have children, we move to another state. Keep that information all up to date. We're all victims of, at some point, either a data breach or perhaps identity theft. Maybe we're out using public Wi-Fi. You've been in situations where the advice of an attorney can help. I always say that attorneys give us the wisdom on how to handle situations and make sure our rights are secured. Our legal plan, as you can see, this really takes care of our personal legal issues and things that come up, whether it's traffic issues, it's just questions on how to handle situations. Maybe we're personally being audited. Our ID Shield plan also covers you and protects you just as much as the legal plan does, and it will monitor all the things you want monitored. But the big thing is it will provide you with complete restoration should you be a victim of identity theft. They do whatever it takes as long as it takes. And I can tell you that with me, every time something comes up and I see something, my first call is always to ID Shield, to my investigator, to take care of things. We also provide you with reputation and privacy management, a VPN, because it's so important to secure your connections when you're out in public Wi-Fi areas. The websites that you're visiting, if you have personal information out there, you want to secure that. The last thing I want to leave with you, and you've probably seen this floating around on social media, are those fun little quizzes that everybody's answering questions to. Just please be careful what information you choose to share on social media. Stop giving people your personal information to guess your passwords and your security questions. If you want to do those great little quizzes, put other information, put fake information in there so they can't relate it back to you. So I hope you guys got a few nuggets from this today. I'm so excited about this whole day of Extravaganza. You're going to have so much information, and enjoy the rest of it. And I thank you for your attention, and back to you, Mike.
Awesome, Lori. I've been using Legal Shield myself since 2001. As a business owner, I would definitely recommend everybody get it. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule. I'm going to do a couple of surprises. Dr. Z, you've been unbelievable. Julie referred to me not that long ago. I would like you to take 2 minutes and talk about the culture of NRG. We got a lot of new folks here. You are the nicest man I've ever met in the world. It's not Maverick Mike, it's Z. So I'd like you to take a couple of minutes. We found a few free minutes. Lori and Jen, great job, by the way. Real excited about Florida. But Z, go ahead and unmute. And a lot of new folks here. What should they be thinking about as they make a decision this weekend about coming into NRG?
Of course, Mike, and I want to say thank you for everyone for being here and for those who are hosting this great event. I don't want to sound defiant, but I'm going to have to say you, Mike, are the nicest guy I've ever met in NRG, plus many other people here. The word that comes to mind with NRG, it's just momentum and giving. What I really like about NRG, it's not just a networking group, but to me, it's a business class with class. I can't think of any other networking group that actually gives you 3 referrals right on the spot. And it's helped me connect with many people on a worldwide basis. In terms of giving, I really appreciate that Mike always mentions what Zig Ziglar once said: you can always get what you want out of life if you just help enough other people get what they want out of life. And I like to also add, if people like you, they'll listen, but if they trust you, you're guaranteed that people are going to do business with you. Like Michelle's mastermind classes and Gab Talks is the art of following up. You just got to put in the work. You know, if you're not doing what you should know, it's the same as not knowing. With my experience in NRG, it's been extravaganza, if I could say, and it's been like my first time here. Always warm, positive, and you may have heard this expression: we're not just a networking group, but we're just one big happy family. And I always feel that there's always more to give in this group. And I believe Bob Berg once said this, from the author of The Go-Giver: when you're helping someone, you always get something back when you least expect it. And the law of attraction, it works, whether you believe it or not. And in terms of my ROI, within my second meeting, I was able to get all my returns back within that time. So I want to say thank you very much, Mike, for running these meetings. Even though, thanks to the extravaganza, the only complaint I have about it is that my calendar is always full because of this events.
That's
and
great.
I always mark it, and I can't wait for June 5th because I'm not going on vacation, because I'm on vacation right now. Thanks to you, Mike, and everybody here. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And Dr. Z did not know I was going to call on today, so I might call on a couple of the expansion directors if we find extra time. Next, I'm going to go to Jessica Koch. We have a special spotlight on two members. Jessica Koch has been with me since the beginning of time. I started NRG in 2001. She was one of my first members. She is brilliant. And when I say brilliant, she's in like 17 countries. She's in every state. She looks phenomenal. I can't believe she's a grandmother. And I called her yesterday. She moved her whole schedule around. That's how busy I've been with Michelle and I expanding. But Jessica is going to be my first in what we're calling now a special spotlight for people that have known me. You know, she goes back with me to 2001. And even if we don't talk for a week or two, phenomenal friends. She's just an amazing resource. And if someone were to say to me, who is one of the top most intelligent women you've ever met, who knows social media inside out, who delivers a message with enthusiasm and puts the E in enthusiasm, it's Jessica. She was on our speaker series. We have speakers coming almost through October. I told her I may have to go to next year, but without further ado, I'm going to give Jessica about 2 or 3 minutes to introduce herself and really talk to everybody here. So, Jessica, you with me?
I am just so honored to be here. I think Mike is an amazing individual. And, you know, this is an extravaganza. So everyone take a deep breath and find a little bit of excitement, because we're here, you know, not just to share our content information and learn great tips from amazing people and just celebrate this organization overall, but we're also here to celebrate the success of business and the fact that we're in business and business is flowing and coming in. I'm sticking to this, the young hot Nana, and I'm the Italian mother of 7. My youngest daughter is 10. I have 6 adults and a couple of grandkids here and there. And I have been speaking nationally for about 25 years, internationally for 3. I do sales and marketing consulting, LinkedIn and social media training. I have a virtual assistant membership program. We do have over 50 virtual assistants on the team right now. We'll be expanding to about 150 by the fall. We are in, I think 17 countries, and might be the exact right number. And I have worked with and done leadership training for Microsoft and Exelon. I've done the art of negotiation for them. So work with some of the top 100, both government entities nationally, as well as companies. And I say all this so that maybe some of what I share with you now, when I tell you how amazing NRG has been in the beginning of my ride, as I was earlier in my career and traveling all across the country and speaking, my relationship with Mike and his approach to business. And, you know, there's something in a really great book I read once, when it is Ask and You Shall Receive. And that really great book is something I live by. And one of the things Mike brings to the table with a pinball is specifically ask, also let the universe know where it is you're going on vacation so they can arrange the best hotels for you or the best form of travel, and you can attract all of those things. Z-Man, I'm in love with you. Haven't met you yet, but you keep stealing my punchlines because I was going for the Dale Carnegie, Zig Ziglar. When you help other people, it really happens for you. But what I would say instead, since he was brilliant enough to take the words right out of my mouth before me, is that you get, when you join this organization, not just joint venture partners and collaborators and referrals and customers, but you get ambassadors for your business. So you get to scale and multiply yourself. That's why the whole virtual assistant thing lives in my world. You cannot stretch and scale. My tagline is grow your profits from seed to orchard. Sell more, spend less, but you cannot tend an orchard with your own two hands. You need a team, and NRG is part of the scaling and part of your team in a really beautiful way. And you heard it from other people, and it is true, with friendship, with honor, with collaboration, with the, sales is a beautiful thing when treated so. You heard today them mention the black web. Well, yes, there is the World Wide Web allows us to embrace each other and hug the globe and reach sides of the world with our message and our passion, our story in a beautiful way that was never possible before. It can also be a very dark place, right? So let's use this for the power of good, right? So let it be a light. Let what you do be a light. And again, just thank you, Mike, for the few minutes on the stage to share and just say how much this organization has impacted me. Our friendship has impacted me, and it's my honor to support you in any way that I can. So thank you, everyone. I hope you're welcome to reach out to me. I will put my info in the chat. Have a beautiful event. I apologize. I have to pop off at 1:50. He did snag me yesterday, but it's again, my honor to be here. So thanks, everybody, and have a great time.
Hey, Jessica, thank you so much for being here. I know I snagged you yesterday afternoon, but you spoke eloquently. If you guys have not talked to Jessica, you haven't lived. I mean, she is, I love her. She's one of my favorite people in the world. If, favorite 5, favorite 7, I got a lot of favorite people, but Jessica, the passion, the energy, the wherewithal, she is probably the most resourceful person that I've met. Michelle Wilson gives her a run for her money in Texas, but probably those two together are freaking amazing. And I just love you to death. Jessica, got a number update from Lisa Rodino, 96. We're almost, thanks to Lisa, almost to 100. Sounds like the Jerry Lewis telephone, but Jessica, you're amazing and appreciate you being here, and everybody reach out to her. It'll be a conversation that you'll never forget. So appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the words. All right, we got one more spotlight. For those of you that are new, are you really going to be able to be my friend and network with me for a long time? Jessica and I met in the early ages of NRG. So I brought a guy on, Dave Lauritzen. And Dave is our newest member. Again, he's probably back in NRG for a third time. He's got a new company. When I grow up, I want to be Dave Lauritzen. He's been married for a long time. He's a great guy, very resourceful. And I told him yesterday when we signed up, I said, I'd like you to speak at the Extravaganza, and I kind of move things around, but I'm going to have Dave take 2, 3, 4 minutes and talk about his journey. He'll talk a little bit about his company, and I'm going to turn it over to Dave Lauritzen.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mike. Mike, I thought I was your favorite person.
You're what?
I thought I was your favorite person.
Jessica's Koch has got you beat by a drop.
Oh, man.
A little.
Mike loves the girls,
I know.
You're not as pretty as me, that's all.
It's okay. It's all right.
I thought I was number one.
Hey, Dave, I love you as a bro. You and I are like two brothers from another mother. We both love the Orioles, the Ravens, and networking. So that's why I wanted to spotlight you, Dave, because you and Jessica have been with me through it all, through my heart attacks and my good and my bad and my ugly and, my good looking days, which hopefully are longer than the bad. But if you would speak to everyone, Dave, there's people here, they're like, why NRG? Look, I've been in whatever organization, why NRG, what's the difference? And, you know, Dave, you've been with me almost 2.5 decades, so we've got to be doing something right. If you would address that, that would be great. Thank you. And really glad you're here too. You and Jessica both snagged last minute, but it doesn't mean because I don't love you both. It just means my schedule's crazy. But
Awesome.
Without further ado, Dave Lauritzen.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody, and welcome to this lovely event today. This is actually my 5th time in NRG. So I keep coming in, and I keep going back out. But it's not for any reason that it's not a good thing. I mean, NRG has been probably one of the best things that I've ever done. So my name is Dave Lauritzen. I am here in the Mid-Atlantic. So I'm in Baltimore. However, I do things on a national basis. So I network with people all over the country. This is my 30th year in insurance. So I am a health insurance person, been doing it for a very long time. I currently work for a company called The Difference Card, where we basically help groups reduce their cost and improve benefits for their employees. We do a lot of work through insurance brokers. I do a lot of work with CFOs and CPAs, and also with HR people. I've known Mike for probably 20 plus years. I've been in NRG 5 times, guys. I tell you what, if you're new to NRG, this might be my first day for my 5th time. But I tell you what, it's awesome. I've gotten a lot out of it. And let me give you some advice, because I've told this to other people before. I've had people quit NRG because they would come up to me and say, hey, you know what? I'm not getting anything out of this group. I'm not getting any leads. I'm not closing business. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. If you're in it for closing business right out of the gate, it's the wrong reason. It's not about what you take as far as the groups. It's the people you talk to. It's, you never know. It might be some person selling something that might not be right in your own industry, but that's okay, because you never know who they know. And I'll give you an example. There was a lady in NRG, Mike, way back in the day that was selling, I think it was like Mary Kay Cosmetics or doing something like that. And I was like, how in the heck is this lady ever going to help me? Well, guess what? Her brother-in-law was the guy that ran Under Armour. So it was one of those things where I actually got the meeting to meet with the guy from Under Armour because of her. So again, if you're looking at it like, am I closing business? Is this really working out for me? It's the wrong way to look at NRG. You got to get in and build relationships and work with the people. Because I tell you what, if you do it, it certainly works, because you never know who these other people know that could get you right in the door. And I tell you what, Mike is, you've heard it all day long, Mike, but you are the best guy in the world, dude. You're a rock star. So keep it up.
Appreciate it, Dave. Thank you very much, brother. That story Dave just relayed, NRG is access. Who do people have access to? Michelle always says, I want to know you, but I want to know who you know. And if God came down to me and said, what is the #1 benefit of NRG? It's access. Who do people know? So we're going to move on. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Jessica. That was our special spotlight section on, I won't say old NRG members, because Jessica says she's a hot grandma. So we'll keep it real. So we are going to move on. Richard Gary is going to be our next sponsor. He's got a health product. One of the most important things, and I get it, you got to have your health. And we're all working very hard on Zoom. Make sure you take time for yourself. It's funny coming from me, the ultimate workaholic, but you got to take time for you. I know in Maryland this weekend, it's going to be 76 degrees on Sunday. Get your butt out, go walk around. But I'm going to go next to Rich. I don't know if he's got slides with Julie, but I'll let them handle that. So we're going to go to Rich, and then Rombeer, you are on the one batters, whatever. You're next. So let's go, Rich Gary.
All right, that's great. My name is Richard Gary. Michael and I go back more than a couple of months, maybe like 25 years. We were running around to Martin's West and all those places that some of you might know. And what a great friend. And thank you for today's opportunity. What I currently do, besides being the eternal entrepreneur, when I was in the 6th grade, I sold my neighbor's pine trees at Christmas time for Christmas wreaths. So that's where I got my start. But anyway, I currently own a medical equipment business, and we treat breast cancer patients with lymphedema. and which is not very much fun. We've been doing this for 27 years, and we help other people and so forth. And it's been fun trying to get through COVID and so forth. I also have a pharmaceutical background and so forth, which has kind of prepared me for what I'm doing. But health-wise, I know where Michael lives and has been and wants to stay away from as a heart patient. You know, I've had 4 heart attacks. I have 8 cardiac stents. I've had cabbages. I've had helicopter rides, you name it, and so on and so forth. 5 TIAs, stents in those. So I got a total of 10 stents, and hopefully it doesn't go any further than that. I've had spinal surgery. So I'm a thriving survivor. And the word of caution to all of you people is that, you know, you weren't born yesterday, and tomorrow's not a guarantee. And you have to be aware of what's going on. So I look at myself in the mirror sometimes and I go, who's your best friend? And then I go back, I am. So you got to be your best friend to you and pay attention. The grinding that we all do with what we're trying to accomplish, take care of our family and help others in the process, doesn't come easy. And you need your performance, and your performance is only done by your energy. And the components there are sleeping, and you hear it all day long. I'm telling you what, when you're a heart patient, if you don't sleep 8 hours a day, or at least 7, you know, you're going to be dragging by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and so forth. You can take all the vitamins in the world, and I'm an entrepreneur from, you know, the pharmaceutical area, and I must have 70 different preparations in my office. And not all of them work. And understand, when you're taking stuff through your gut, you're taking pills, you're lucky if you get 10 to 12, 15% of it in your output. So you've got to look at that. And you also want to take a look at diet. You don't need to be a vegan or go on this tremendous crazy diet or the keto of the week or something like that. Just use some common sense. Don't eat late at night. Okay, just from a heart perspective, if you eat like a celebratory meal after 6 o'clock and there's wine and there's a good piece of meat and some sour cream and a dessert, and like, I'm just gonna splurge, you know, and so forth, you're probably upwards of 100 grams of fat. And that stuff, thank you, will wreck you. I mean, people get heart attacks because of that. And, you know, it's like, and if you're not taking omega-3s before you go to bed, if you're not taking calcium, magnesium before you go to bed, 200 milligrams usually is enough, but men should take no more than 4, ladies, no more than 300 milligrams of calcium, magnesium. And all that does is that opens up the muscles that open up the arteries for better circulation and so forth. And don't go buying stuff on the end cap that, you know, is a feature of the week. And because you're not getting good stuff. I mean, there's more pill people out there selling junk, and they'll write up the greatest story in the world. And you're, oh boy, I'm going to feel better. No, you're not. Okay. I mean, I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars, you know, that I have spent over the years and still continue, because I still look and research. You're looking at a guy who gets up at 3, 4 in the morning sometimes, and I'm at NIH websites reading things to educate myself. So it's better for me. And if it's better for me, you know, being Irish, got a big mouth, I'll be happy to tell you, you know, and so forth. And so what I'm bringing to the table for you guys is to help you with your performance and your endurance and your immune building. Now, I forgot to put this on today, and this is like a little energy patch, and this is called glutathione. Most people, including most of your doctors that I talk to all the time, don't know what glutathione is. This is a master antioxidant. 24 hours, that little patch through meridian intercession, it basically, it's reflecting light therapy, will take my glutathione level by blood tests, and we have clinicals that prove it, over 300%. You take pills, 10 to 15%, and so forth. You know, so, I mean, you can have, I mean, I was going into University Hospital, a guy got out of a Bentley, could barely walk. And I thought to myself, I bet he would trade in that Bentley so that he had the ability to walk and enjoy his life and enjoy his family. And, you know, so it's not a guarantee. Every day that you get up is wonderful. So what you guys need to do, since you're grinding, is that you need to sleep, exercise, diet, control your inflammation. If you eat a lot of sugar, you're setting yourself on fire. And inflammation is what causes all of your major diseases. And whether it's heart disease or cancer or arthritis or joint disease, okay? Inflammation is the key. I have things that can offset that. So I'm going to have a sampling program later that's in the contact. And if you want info, which is one video, and you'll get a sample of some of the things that we have based on what your needs are, we can do it. Also, for all you Zoomers, if you're sitting around doing 4 and 5 and 6 Zooms a day, I know somebody in the room who does that, maybe upwards of 8. Your hip flexors are getting killed, and your hip flexors get involved in the piriformis, and they get involved in the psoas muscle, and they're really, really difficult to target. So you need to get up and move around. Even if we're here today, get up and move around while you're talking. Don't sit the entire time, and so forth. And I've gone to like 4 different physical therapy houses and so forth, because the hip flexors will involve your balance. And usually when you hit 60 years old, your balance starts to go sideways. And you don't want to do that, because what will happen, you'll go into muscle memory. And once you fall down once, you're going to have to fight the urge for it to happen again. And it's not something you cause. It's just an effect of what's going on. The other thing is your water intake. You need to take a ½ ounce of water per pound. So just take your body weight and cut it in half. That's the amount of ounces you need to have on a daily basis. And it gives you fluidity. It gives you blood flow. It's just something wonderful. Here again at 60, I don't know who pulled that number out of their hat, but the thirst sensation, it's been documented, starts to wane when you hit 60. That's why you go in and I see older patients, 70, 80, 90, and so forth. And they're like, oh, shriveled and stuff. Then I said, what'd you drink today? I had some coffee this morning. I said, what time? Oh, about 6 a.m. and now it's noon. I said, you have any water? No. Okay. And also what I'm talking about on the other end, where we're going to sample you, is patches that are LifeWave light therapy technology, medically speaking, photobiomodulation. If you don't hydrate, you shouldn't take them, because you've got to hydrate, because water gives you the fluidity in your system, which goes through the meridians, which are your neural pathways and so forth. So if you have anybody in your family that has cardiac disease, write this down. Go to cardiacnuggets.com. You'll see yours truly on there with a 3-minute information video that will help you navigate, if you're having one, what you need to be aware of, and so forth, and so forth. I don't know, how am I doing on time, Mike?
We got about a minute.
Oh, wow. I really can talk, can I? Woohoo! Anyway, I think I have covered just about everything. And in the contact information, if you would like a free sample of something that will go ahead and help you, and I don't want to oversell what I'm doing. That's why I haven't put slides up and so forth. And I mean, what I just put on is this, and it's called glutathione, and I got it backwards. Oh yeah, no, I don't. Anyway, I'm reading it backwards. I need to go around the front of it.
That's
anyway,
funny.
I won't make it in the video business. But anyway, I appreciate the opportunity today. I hope what I said gives you some insight and so forth. Take yourself seriously, because if you don't, nobody else will. Okay? Happy grunting, happy performance, and God bless you all.
Awesome job, Rich. I've had so many medical issues that I really think it's important to have someone here at the Extravaganzas. Rich is brilliant. We all don't drink enough water, probably most of us. So I've got a big thing of water with me, and get up, walk around, do those type of things, because I want to see everybody live for a long time. And like he says, tomorrow is not guaranteed. And if he said something that bothered you, it's probably because it's true. So just a tip, they always say, don't kill the messenger. And he may have hit a nerve, because I've heard that whenever anyone speaks about health, they're like, I didn't like, well, did you not like what he said? So think about what he's done. He's been through 4, he actually has me beat on the heart attacks. So, and stints, and I really don't want to catch up to him. So Rich, great job, buddy. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. God bless.
We've gone back about 25 years. So Ron Beer is a great example of NRG. I had a woman, Sarah Esterbrook, who just came in NRG. I've been inviting her for 3 years, and she's now doing government staffing. Michelle's met her at the DMV Twilight, and I gave her Ron Beer's name, and 2 days later she called me and said, oh my God, Ron Beer is amazing. We had dinner. We're going to work together. We're going to collaborate. you know, when I'm connecting people, I'm thinking about where can I connect them. And Rambir, at I think it was 45 seconds into the DMV group, he goes, I'm in, where do I sign up? Call me after the meeting. You know, if IT guys usually don't have personality or charisma or anything. I love Rambir. He's referred other IT guys to me because he's not selfish. And that's the thing I love about Rambir. He sends me some quirky text messages, but I'll forgive him for that. But it's 1:44. I'm going to have you go up to 10 minutes, Rambir, but I'm really excited. You have added a lot to NRG. You're an expansion director. You stepped up for that quick, but you're such a lovable guy. And if they could do a cartoon out of Rambir and nobody could say his name, he goes, just say run to beer. Run to beer. So I'm gonna turn it over to Rambir.
Hey, Mike, thanks for that.
You got the floor, buddy.
No, sounds good. How's it?
Thank you.
Hope everybody's doing well. So can I share my screen, or I want to share some slides?
Yeah, Julie's gonna let you
yep,
share.
There you go. Okay, got it. Sweet. Can everybody see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yes.
Sweet. All right, so I am Rambir Bhutani, so I guess CEO, founder of Cyber Culture. Naturally, what we do is we work with businesses to help build them a strategic cybersecurity program in place, essentially keeping their data safe against the latest cyber attacks, ransomware. Ideally, helping companies understand, what type of data that they want to keep safe, that they're trying to keep safe, and really helping them from a strategic standpoint. So naturally, I had these slides to basically talk about, being safe, using secure passwords, and just as a general rule of thumb, and then just definitely go from there. So yeah, definitely for those of you that may have heard the words, and especially with the increase of attacks that's going on today in the world, definitely cyber means that it's relating to the characteristic of culture, computers, information technology, and virtual reality. Security typically means state of being free from danger or threat. And the combination of two can be a very effective collaborative effort to protect your technology from a specific threat, like such as a cyber attacker, cyber criminal, or insider threat towards your business organization. Who's involved with cybersecurity? People, us, businesses, people that own businesses like us, employees, your employer companies, cyber hackers, organized cyber criminals, etc. Data, of course, very important. You got account numbers, social security numbers, addresses, medical information, contract documents, etc. Whatever type of data, let's say even financial transactional data, definitely things that you want to keep secure, safe and secure. Your environment, and not to get too technical, a lot of technologies are going via the cloud, space solution, local areas, international areas. And then it comes down to costs. Yeah, what is it going to cost me? Is there a return on investment? There is absolutely a return on investment within cybersecurity. Basic cost of a cyber program. Like if you were to get breached or ransomware, or even if you don't know you're breached or ransomware with your company or business due to a breach or cyber attack. Of course, cyber insurance costs, and as I discussed, return on investments, cost of risks. Types of cyber attacks are phishing, ransomware, smishing, which is a newer type of attack via your mobile text message. Like I'm sure some of you on here most of you on here get messages of, hey, you want to lose weight, or hey, you want to save $500 or get a $500 gift card from Amazon. Social engineering, it's a way for the attacker to actually get to know you. And yeah, as scary as it sounds, it goes back to what Lori was saying with ID theft, where once they got your information, they'll go to town. They'll assign credit card accounts in your name, and apply to loans. Yeah, so you definitely want to always be vigilant in knowing where your information is being sent, sold, or shared. Spear phishing, another form of phishing. Going into details, I'm sure everybody's familiar, where this is the most effective way of even the big guys. I don't know if you remember the Target breach. It was through an HVAC contractor, right? That was when they had not changed the passwords or credentials. But that was more of on-site attack. But definitely, if you get emails that have a cute picture of a dog or cat, you decide to download it and it has malware, ransom on the bag, that's the easiest way for them to get in. Let's say if you didn't have technologies to protect or prevent those type of attacks. Cyber hackers, as we're in business, they are in business as well. Keeps them employed. They use automation for email, hundreds, thousands of users, stolen data, email lists. I got a buddy of mine that has a fraud company. He saved this really big, or one of the largest credit unions in the world, over $130 million in fraud alone in 2020. And yeah, it just goes to show that, you know, this is happening and this is real. Another rule of thumb is if you get a phishing email, it kind of looks like this. Where now they've gotten a little smarter, where they're using the company's name, but like maybe an extra word or two, and a lot of people fall victim and prey. So what they'll do is this is from a financial institution, won't name the name, but you click on it, it acts like it's going to their physical page for you to log in. You log in, and then they not only did they get your credentials, now they'll reroute you to the actual page. So that's how they work, and it's really, really easy, quick, easy, and without even thinking twice. Even if you're very suspicious, sometimes just, you know, either forward it to your IT department, maybe ask somebody that you know that's well versed in the IT space or cybersecurity space. Yeah, here's phishing alone. This is you know, a report that's done by one of the big companies out there called Mandiant, and showing you know, 70% of the victims are in US here. So you can see that it's not just all over the world, but it even happens within our own soil here. Ransomware is unique, where sort of think of it as like a threat or blackmail towards the organization. For the cyber hacker, criminals will steal and sell your information on dark web. They usually use like cryptocurrency now, Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's thousands of different currencies out there. So basically, they'll blackmail the organization, force them to pay a ransom to release or unlock their data. So this is usually done as a fear tactic to the organization, saying that if they don't pay the ransom, so sometimes it can be anywhere from a couple $100,000 to over multi-million dollars. You heard of the Colonial Pipeline, which was a big attack, cost them $5 million. Of course, they got some of that money back, but yeah, just got to always be wary of those, vigilant and understanding of what's happening. And sometimes they'll send you the code to unlock your data, but they've already either start selling it on the dark web, and even sometimes it doesn't work. Best procedure I recommend is to always have backups of your data, always, always, always. And here's some more additional information of ransomware, where it says, and I was talking about Colonial Pipeline, and then halt their computer systems, which impacted the fuel supplies for 2 weeks. I think people were putting gasoline in plastic grocery bags. Yeah, I guess people do all sorts of things, but you know, cost basically. What they estimate the impact of lost sales and operations, disruption on operations, will approximately be like around 50 million, as well as 20 million in ransom. So you could tell alone that it cost them already $70 million. I mean, that's a big chunk of their revenue, right? So definitely, you know, want to make sure you educate your employees. Smishing is where they'll target your mobile phone, or they pretend sometimes like it's from a friend, where let's say you haven't talked to in like years, and all of a sudden and naturally what I do with that recommendation is call that friend from a different phone to make sure that they didn't send you that link or a text or whatever link it had. And here's another form. You'll get a text like this, like you have won $5,000, and everybody's, oh, you know, I'm excited, I want some money. But naturally, most likely, 100% it is a fish, or a smish in this case, via your mobile phone. Social engineering is another way of hackers to learn about you. Like they'll pretend to be a representative of a fake organization. Really just be wary of, especially if all of a sudden you get a message on LinkedIn saying somebody wants to do business with you. And always do fact check of the company. Sometimes even go to the Better Business Bureau to even do some further evaluation. Always do research on your part. It's definitely important, especially if you don't have a warm, fuzzy feeling about the person that reached out to you or the company. Spear phishing, it's another type of social engineering, but they target more personalized to a specific individual, group, or organization. This is an example of spear phishing. Like I'm sure some of you do in your companies, or you've seen like through colleagues or friends, that they'll do some test cases where they'll send employees, they'll send employees like a fake attack, not a fake attack, but a stage attack to see if what users will click. But in this case, this is actually a real one, saying that it's coming from your IT services, naturally the link itself will redirect you to whatever they're trying to do or information they're trying to obtain. But I'd say 9 times out of 10, just or 100%, 100% of the time, forward it to your IT department or your cyber group if you have one, and then just definitely if you see something like that. Recommendations for phishing: just always check the sender, the email address. If you even are not 100% sure, phone a friend that's in IT or cyber. Ransomware attacks, just make sure if you get an attachment and it looks funny or it's some cute little picture, just be aware of that. Smishing, definitely don't click on the phone on that attack. Just either delete it or block the number or wherever it came from. Social engineering, limited amount of personal information that you put on social media, especially Facebook or TikTok or whatever is out there. Back to, especially protecting your identity is a big deal too. Spear phishing attacks is very similar and the same methodologies for prevention. Definitely, my recommendation, especially in your business, is enable multi-factor authentication for all your applications that you use for your business. So meaning you have a code sent to your phone or use like a Google Authenticator as a second method of logging in. So this gives you additional layer of protection and makes you feel a lot more safe than just using a username and password. Always use strong passwords. A lot of different password vaults out there. Like LastPass is a really known one. There's a ton out there. Also, you could definitely want to build a strategic cyber program, which is what cyber culture's focus is. We come in there, be like a fractional CISO for you, build the program. It involves incident response, disaster recovery, system security plans, and naturally also show you why it's important to have it, because I could prove to you how cybersecurity is a sound return on investment. If you're more budgeted on some of the services, you could deploy a managed security provider. They have a whole team monitoring your data, and typically it's like a monthly subscription, way cheaper than trying to in-house it. And now if you are a much medium-sized or larger business, then you can deploy a security operation. Again, you can get this wrapped up into a managed security provider as well. Always good to have cyber insurance. There are limitations, but it's not, cyber insurance doesn't mean that your organization is protected against attacks. It's just more as an insurance policy in case you guys do get breached or hacked or cyber attacked. Security education is definitely important. Spread awareness. I'm spreading awareness here. Always spread to your family, friends, anybody you know, acquaintances. Definitely is important. Monthly newsletters are always recommended to keep all employees in the know. And then also doing like any exercises on a quarterly or bi-yearly basis to help folks understand what should be done in event if their organization has been targeted or attacked. Done.
Cool. Hi, Rempia. That was awesome. Appreciate you, brother. And it's definitely, words that are trending is cybersecurity. It's a big thing in this world right now. So what I'm going to do next, I told Cynthia we were going to go have her right about 2 o'clock. We're going to punch in one more speaker. I'm going to have Gab come on for about 5 minutes real quick. She's going to talk about the NRG difference, about 5 to 7 minutes. We've been trying to figure out a good topic for her. She is a master networker. She's involved heavily behind the scenes. So we're going to go Gab for about 5 to 7. And then I'm going to bring on Cynthia, our keynote speaker. After that, we've got 2 other sponsors. Just to give you a little idea. We have Jeff Kyle, actually 1. And then we're going to do the breakout session. And then we're going to have Jennifer Garcia, Michelle, and I wrap everything up. So we're going to go about 5 to 7 minutes, Gab. Take us to the top of the hour, maybe a little after. And then if Cynthia's around, I'm going to have Cynthia do our keynote. All the speakers have been great. Having a great time here. So Gab, I'm going to turn it over to you. You've been around the block, even though you're young and know a lot about networking. Anything whatever you want to share. We got a lot of new folks here, but if you want to talk about the NRG difference. So back to you in the studio, Gab Waterman.
Okay, well, hi, everybody. I am Gabriella. My friends call me Gab. Many of you have met me. You would think that I've known Mike for a lifetime. We are very, very similar, and you guys hear us, and you don't hear the conversations we have outside of NRG, where we are collaborating and we are talking about how to grow these meetings and what the value that each of us bring and how we can really, really skyrocket it. Many of you have had one-on-one conversations with me from coming to NRG, and there's a whole bunch of you that came to NRG because I invited you to come to NRG. And you would know that, you all know that my passion is to help all of you get to where you're trying to be in your business. And I've done a ton of networking. Those of you that know my story, that as a kid, I did a ton of sales. I went into a totally unrelated to sales industry. And in 2016, I started a business, and I understood right from the get-go the power of networking. So we were all still in person, right? You go into a room and you shake hands and you say, can you buy my service? Can you buy my service? Nope. That is not the way to generate business. It'll take 1,000 people to talk to get someone to buy from you. But what you can do, if you go into a room and you say, hi, how can I help you? What can I do for you? And get yourself in that giver's mindset, so that people remember you when it's time to give out a name for whatever it is that you do, that you're the go-to person. And that's what I did from 2016 to 2020 in my previous business. That's why almost 400 people called me and said, can I hire you? So my first experience in NRG was like, I didn't actually know that I was coming to an NRG meeting. And it was a little bit, I was a little thrown off. And as we were going along, I got to hear Michelle and her amazing testimonial. And I always claim that I'm the little sister to Michelle, because I too have the same affliction that she has. And I love it. And you have heard her say many times, if you're not part of NRG, you need to be part of NRG. Well, so did I. I heard it. I became a member. Why? Because NRG is that kind of networking. People give each other names of people that we know is a good fit for what it is you do. That's literally how I built my business from 2016 to 2020. That's literally how I had 150 clients, and I didn't know a single one of them before I started the business. And I didn't know most of the people who sent people my name before I started the business, because it was all about collaboration, all about networking, all about working together, cooperating and co-opetition, right? It's how we grow, and it's literally the foundation of what NRG is all about. So by the end of the first meeting, I was already giving out names. I got it. I understood it. It was like that. It's literally what I teach people these days. You heard Mr. Z talk about the art of follow-up. What I teach is taking everything we do in NRG and taking it to the next level, and taking those referrals and being that person that's memorable, and being that person that is the epitome of being an NRG person. Why we come here, why this group has grown, and the value that every single person brings thanks to what Mike has created. Mike is amazing at edifying all of us. And I have to tell you, he is the epitome of everything he says good about us. He himself is. He's created this environment to bring us all together, so that we can exchange contact information, so that we're not just randomly cold calling people, that we have that warm introduction, that warm lead, because that's how you can actually create more business for yourself. So I don't know where I'm at on time. I never script myself. I probably should. You guys, bring your friends. The thing I've been talking about a lot lately is, if every single one of us can bring 2 new people or 3 new people to a meeting, can you imagine how many more people we would be able to do business with because of that? Right now, there's 75 people in this room. If every single one of us were to bring 2 more people, that would be 225 people. Did I do my math right?
You did that perfect.
With just a little bit of work, each and every one of these groups can grow. And for every guest you bring, just think of if someone did the same thing, that would exponentially grow your contacts and grow your touches.
Yeah, and you know what? I just took a real quick glance at the participants. Now, it's interesting. The last time we had more visitors, this time we have more members. So I'm going to speak it into existence in June. We're going to have more members and we're going to have more visitors. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to Cynthia. She is in the Pittsburgh group. She does phenomenal with law of attraction, law of vibration. You guys know how much I believe, and I've been studying it for 7 years. And but not implementing it. It's always there in the background, but when you start to really work it, it will take a hold of you. So Cynthia is going to go for about 15 minutes. We're at 2:06 Eastern. Cynthia, you with me?
I am.
All right. So Cynthia is phenomenal. She's in the Pittsburgh group. Pittsburgh group is growing wildly. Jeff Kyle is going to be speaking in a little bit. He had 3 visitors last week and 2 of them joined. Cynthia is amazing at her message. And, you know, with Bob Proctor passing away, I know one of Cynthia's goals is to keep his message alive for all of us. And Bob Proctor was amazing. You know, we could dedicate this session to Bob Proctor, Cynthia. And, you know, because you're an extension of Bob Proctor. I know in 1 year he made $8 grand, and the following year he made $1 million. You taught me that. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over. We're at 2:07 Eastern. We'll go to about 2:22. And Raphael's always taught me that means God is winking at you if you have the same number. So I'll have you go to about 2:22. Ladies and gentlemen, from Pittsburgh, Cynthia Greathouse. I got my voice back finally.
Thank you, Mike. And
you're welcome.
So grateful to be here with my NRG family. You know, one of the things I teach with the Proctor Gallagher Institute is leadership. And the way to tell a great leader is look what they bring in their wake. So look at what Mike has brought in his wake. We're going to jump right in. You were created in the image of God. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. You're all here to grow your businesses, correct? And that's a good thing. We should all be for expansion. The universe is for expansion. You're either expanding or you're contracting. So we're going to jump right into what you need to expand your business in the most effective way. I think we've all worked harder. We've all tried to do more. We've all added more to our lists. And sometimes we fall short or we feel that grind. So what we teach is how to accomplish more with ease and flow. So we're going to look at the mind first of all, okay? We all have a mind. This is not the same as your brain. Your brain is not your mind. Your brain is the switching mechanism. Your mind is impressed in every cell of your being. So you are not your body. We're all living temporarily in this body. We moved into this body, we'll move out of our bodies. But our mind, I believe, is eternal. We will take it with us. So developing our mind is key. You're not taught this in school, okay? So we start talking about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is our thinking mind. This is our reasoning mind. And all of our thoughts and what we think goes into our conscious mind. Also, our conscious mind is where all of our senses tap into. So we have a lot of stuff going into our conscious mind. And if we're not careful, and if we only buy into what we see, hear, smell, touch, and taste, we can become the plaything for the world around us. The first time I heard that, I went, whoa, 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 whoa. So let's go back here for a minute. The subconscious mind is our feeling mind, and it operates in the background. The conscious mind can accept or reject any idea. The subconscious mind cannot accept or reject. It takes in everything that's impressed upon it. And then the subconscious mind is what moves our body. So if I have this pen and I'm going to pick this pencil up, I just grab it and pick it up. But what has happened is my conscious mind had a quick thought to pick it up, and it shot it through my subconscious mind, which directed my body. Most of us don't understand that because we've never been taught that in school. The other thing that has happened is the subconscious mind, with everything being taken into that subconscious mind, positive and negative, guess what's happened? Some programming has been developed, some mental programming. And one of the things you learn when you work with me is how to gain control over the thoughts you think, how the law of attraction works to help you achieve any goal you want, and a repeatable formula that can be used to change any results you're unhappy with. So again, we have to, and here's Albert Einstein, he understood this. He said the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind, the intuitive mind, that's our subconscious mind, is a sacred gift. And the rational mind is a faithful servant. That's our conscious mind. We've created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. You all have a gift. You haven't been trained how to use your gift. So the other first thing we start with is a big goal. Most people have never been taught how to truly set a goal. And I'm talking about a worthy idea, a goal that is worth your life. Because when you set a goal, you're giving your time and energy for that goal. So we talk in terms of A, B, and C type goals. An A type goal is something you already know how to do. We all know how to lose 10 pounds. A B goal is what we think we can do. And that C goal is our big dream, our wants, what we really want. This can come from our fantasies and our dreams, can come from our effective use of our imagination. Well, what happens? I remember having that big C-type goal, and then you get out in that workaday world, and you've got to pay the mortgage, and you've got to make sure the kids can go to the dentist, and on and on and on. And sometimes this is what happens. And then I remember Cynthia being caught down here. This is why Cynthia felt like she was on the hamster wheel. She had that planner that everyone had back in the day, lists and lists of goals and type A, whatever, you know, this goal, that goal, with this role, that role. And, you know, if I checked 3 things off of my list of 30, I felt like I had been accomplished in the day, and yet I still had 30 things to accomplish. So here I was on this hamster wheel. Can anyone relate? Do you feel the grind? Do you feel the pressure? How would you like more time and money freedom? What would that feel like? What would it feel like if you could actually go after this goal? Well, that's what we work with. That's what we teach people how to do. So we're skimming along here. The other problem you're going to run into as soon as, and we teach you, and it's hard sometimes, people need help. They need mentorship to set that C-type goal because they've buried it so deep. And then what happens is we hit that knowing doing gap. Ooh, we've all hit that, haven't we? There's a difference between what we know and what we do. And what's that about? Well, we talked about what happens to our subconscious mind. Everything gets impressed in the subconscious mind. So a habit is an idea that's fixed in a person's subconscious. It causes them to do something without conscious thought. We all have habitual behavior. Look at your morning routine. But what we really don't understand is we have multitudes of paradigms built into our subconscious mind that are a multitude of habits that cause our habitual behavior. And this is 94 to 96% of all of your results, behaviors, and habits are in your subconscious mind. That's what's your operating system. So we do things we don't want to do sometimes to get the results we don't want, but we do it anyway. And that can be because our paradigm or this program in the subconscious mind is controlling our actions. A common error that we have tried in the past is to change our behavior. That doesn't really work. So we teach you how to go after the knowing doing gap without guilt, and you will learn how to turn negative behavior into positive behavior, a repeatable process to change any habit, and a strategy to convert negative habits into positive results. So Mike was correct when he talked about Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor was, working at a fire station in Toronto, making $4,000 in the 60s, making $4,000 a year, and he was $6,000 in debt. He was in an impossible situation. It was the best job he'd ever had. Couldn't be fired from it. But he said he spent his days, he was sick, he would spend his days trying to cover the bills. And a man began to mentor him, Ray Stanford. And he asked Bob what he really wanted. Bob wrote a 10-year goal to make $25,000. Well, he started to work with Ray, and he started to do the things that Ray told him. He started to learn how to turn this negative behavior into positive behavior. He started to learn this repeatable process to change any habit. And within the first year, he was making $125,000. The fire chief at that time made $11,000 a year. Bob was making $14,000 a month. And yet his family and the fire chief and everyone tried to talk him out of not leaving the fire department. And he talked about that. I heard him recently. He said it was a big deal when he made that decision to leave. What was it? It was a paradigm he had to change. But he did change that paradigm. Well, let's look at some people that understand this type of thing. Let's look at some people that understand what it means to have a mentor. Let's look at some people that understand what a dream and a big C-type goal looks like and how it will fuel committed decisions. This is Lindsay Jacobellis and Nick Baumgartner, and they won the first mixed snowboard cross gold medal in this past Olympics. Let me give you a little history on Lindsay Jacobellis. That was Lindsay Jacobellis' 5th Olympics. I was watching her live in her first Olympics when she was 18 years old. And the snowboard cross, they kind of come, it's like motocross. They kind of come down the hills and there's curves and they're crossing and they're on their snowboards and they know when to pump, up and down their bodies to get the momentum going and how to get in front of someone and take those curves and when and how to take the leads. Very strategic. And first Olympics, first time they had snowboard cross, 5 Olympics ago, Lindsay Jacobellis is in the lead. She is so far ahead of the field. It is incredible. The announcers are going nuts. They're talking about this is a world record. She's going to win the gold medal. It's amazing. And she comes down like 2 little bumps to go and she takes a little air, celebratory air. And they said, oh, she cut her time a little bit, but she's so far ahead. Well, she landed from taking a little bit of air on the edge and flipped her snowboard. The next person behind her was still a long ways back, but by the time Lindsay got up and got her bindings readjusted and got her momentum back, the other gal crossed the finish line just ahead of her. So Lindsay won silver. The next 3 Olympics, Lindsay would try to win that gold medal to no avail. Now she dominated on the world scene, okay, for all this time. She was a dominant force. She was smart, she was savvy, she was experienced. She came into this Olympics and she won the first medal for the United States. And guess what? It was gold. She crossed that finish line just about a board's length ahead. Well, Nick Baumgartner, he was in the men's trials 2 days later, and he was in the qualifying heats and he missed qualifying. Nick Baumgartner's 40 years old. This was his 4th Olympics. And I saw a tearful interview with Nick Baumgartner, and he said, I gave it my all. I came to win a medal. I promised my son, this is my 4th Olympics. I'm 40 years old. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I have to get back. I have to find a way. And I saw someone who was stable in his dream, but devastated at that point because it appeared that all the doors had closed. Well, what Nick Baumgartner did not know is that 24 hours later, heavy snow was going to move in, and the snowboarding coaches knew that Nick Baumgartner and Lindsay Jacobellis, even though they were older, had the experience to do the mixed team double in the heavy snow, and they had the experience from all these years of doing it. And so they went to Nick and said, we want to pair you with Lindsay in the mixed team doubles. Will you do it? And he said, yes. So they told Nick, all you have to do, Nick, is get in the best position for Lindsay. And so they said, try to get second. Well, YouTube these races. Nick's like in 3rd place coming down these hills, and he strategically moves and he knows how to do it. And he gets into 1st place and he comes across that finish line in 1st place. And then Lindsay is in position and she takes off in the women's part of the race. Same thing. She's behind her major competitor and she's like in 3rd or 4th place, and she knew just when to swing into 1st place, and she strategically knew how to come over the finish line, and they took home the gold medal. So Nick Baumgartner, who held fast to his goal, and I can't help but wonder If he just sat there and said, well, I tried, and, I've been to the Olympics and I just didn't do it, maybe the snowboard coaches wouldn't have picked him. But because he had that goal, I think perhaps that helped. So again, a solid goal fueled by committed decision. And in uncommon hours, things moved on his behalf. And that's what happens when you learn to use the boardroom of your mind and quit spending time in common thinking, because common thinking won't get you where you want to go. And these people have had mentors, and Bob Proctor had mentors. A mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability in yourself than you see. I would suggest getting a mentor. One more quick story. This is Mount Everest. And Mount Everest stands, of course, as the tallest mountain in the world. In the late 50s, Edmund Hillary decided that he wanted to climb Mount Everest. He went to develop a team, and he went to a man named William Murray, who was a Scottish guy. And he went to William Murray and he said, we're going to climb Mount Everest. Now, William Murray was a fabulous climber. He'd grown up in the highlands of Scotland, but he was out of World War II. And during World War II, he'd been held in 3 concentration camps. He came out a shell of a man, and it took him 2 years to get his strength back. But here comes Edmund Hillary and says, we want you to climb with us. And he said, okay. And of course, at that time, you had to pay your own way. There was no sponsorship. He said, how much is it going to cost? And Edmund Hillary told him, and he said, William Murray said, I can't go. I don't have the money. And so they went and they tried to climb the summit and they didn't reach it. Well, they came back down and Edmund Hillary decided he would try again. He went a second time to William Murray and asked him the same question. And William Murray asked the price, and Edmund Hillary told him, and he said, I just don't have that kind of money. I can't do it. Common hour thinking. Well, the team got almost to the summit. They got closer to the summit, I should say, and they came down. And Edmund Hillary stood at the base of Mount Everest, and he shook his fist at that mountain, and he said, I'm going to climb you because you're not going anywhere, but I am, and I'm going to scale the summit next time. So he went back this time to William Murray, and he said, we almost did it, but we didn't. But this time we're going back, and this time we're going to scale the summit. We want you on the team. Will you go? William Murray changed his thinking. He did not answer with common hour thinking. He made a decision, a committed decision. And that's another thing we teach. Successful people know how to make decisions. Are you making decisions the right way? William Murray asked, what's the deposit? And then he went, and he was part of that team. And this is a famous quote you've heard from William Murray. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help that one that would never have otherwise occurred. Like Nick Baumgartner getting invited to be on the doubles team with Lindsay Jacobellis? I think so. A whole stream of events issues from one decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. You know, the one thing that Bob Proctor has done, because he has spent years, 60 some years of his life, 67 years studying the material, and he was at the head of the company. He passed away about a month ago today at the age of 88, and he was still directing our company. He had the Bellagio Hotel booked for his 100th birthday to do a seminar.
Wow.
He says that knowledge has to be organized and then intelligently directed. And that is so true. And that's what we've done. And that's what working with me brings you. You can find this information out there, but you need to have it intelligently directed and organized. And we can take you on that path. So if you're thinking about using thinking into results, stop thinking and take action. It will be one of the safest insurance investments you will ever make. And I would invite anyone that has if you have a yearning for more right now, and I hope you do, because you were put here to have more, and you should be for expansion and growth. There's a link for my Calendly in the chat. So book a call with me. And also, if you're interested, I'm going to send out a fabulous article to everyone that will drop their email in the chat to me and just say yes, that you would like to know more. So I thank you, Mike. I thank you for being with me. And yes, we study the law of attraction, but like I've taught Mike Weiner, that's a secondary law. So come and learn all of the laws and how you can start moving with ease and flow and get more accomplished with less, because
Cynthia,
you have time and money freedom.
Cynthia, that was awesome. I took some notes too. Two things I got real quick. We all have gifts within us, but we've not been trained, and successful people make decisions. So that's my takeaway today. So great job. Thank you for sharing. And, you know, if you're going to be successful in business, it's all about helping other people and serving, and what you do is phenomenal. So I appreciate you very much. We're going to move on next. Judy, you with me?
Thanks,
Judy
Mike.
Jameson?
Yeah,
Judith,
I'm with you.
All right,
Yes, I'm
there
with
she
you.
is. So I'm going to introduce you. We have talked about cybersecurity. We have talked about health. We have talked about, oh, I got my notes here somewhere. We've talked about all kinds of things. Judith is going to talk to you about your love life, because if that's in the toilet, and I say it like that, toilet, that's a problem. So Judith can help you get into a relationship. She can help you get out of a relationship. I'm pleasure to, you know, she and I work together in the Philly group. She's from Massachusetts. She has a phenomenal way of working with people when they're going through a divorce, men and women. She's got free workshops that she does. She's got a very unique sense of humor, and I'll leave it at that. But I love her. I knew when I met her, I said, I want you in NRG. And she's like, what am I doing? And she gave this face, so I could do her face. What would I do in NRG? And, you know, she networks a lot. I've connected her. One of my greatest connections with her was someone out on the West Coast, and she's in Philly. And that's again, access. Who do people have access to? So I'm going to give you 10 minutes, Judith. We're going to go you, and then we're going to go Jeff Kyle. That's going to conclude the sponsorships, and then we're going to do the breakout room. So Judith, you got 10 minutes. Real excited to have you here. And it's a topic that we don't always talk about, but love is in the house. And I always hear, what's that song I always say to you? Oh, shoot, what's that song? That love song, The Love Boat, but there's one other one.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. No, not Pablo
No.
Cruz.
No.
He's got another one, but I forget what it is.
I got another one. It's a real sappy love song from the 60s. And I can't remember what it, okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, all the way from Massachusetts, it's Coach Love Coach, Judith. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I'm stuck on some of those things from the 70s. Michelle, I've never been stuck in the 70s. All right, Judith, you're up, sweetheart.
All right. Michelle and I are just laughing so hard, and, you know, following someone like Cynthia, come on, cut it out. I'm like, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me.
Yeah, we've also talked about the brain, your health, your IT, but we would be remiss. Remember, I was sharing that word. We would be remiss. And Maurice has a song, all his ex-wives are in Texas. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Don't say anything, Maurice. Judith.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, and following on to Rich talked about the physical aspects of your heart. So I'm going to talk more about the emotional aspects and the brain in the sense of intellectual, you know, how we try to connect and how we don't connect very well. And I am going to try to screen share, which is always entertaining for me, and may it be entertaining for you as well. Okay. So you guys can probably see that, right? You see that?
Yep. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Okay. See that?
Yes. 5 love myth busters. Yep.
That's right. So I just thought today I would share with you some of my expertise and my knowledge in the area of love. So I'm going to talk about the 5 myths, and I'm going to bust them apart for you. So take notes, although I think I'll be sending these out afterwards so you can peruse them at your leisure later on. I like to tell people that love propels us into action. We do love. And so, you know, sometimes you hear that, right? Love is a verb. It is, it's an action. It's not supposed to be a noun. It's not something that sits on something. It's not something that goes in your garden like an ornament. It is something that moves around. Neato, right? All right, myth number 1. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. It sounds good in theory. Walt Disney said it. So, hey, if he said it, I believe it. All right. But I'm here to bust that apart, right? Because there's way more to courage to propel a dream. And the truth is, courage takes bold movement. And this is what I tell my clients. I'm like, whether you're trying to find a date worth keeping or you married it and you're trying to leave it. So I'm helping you with your divorce coaching. Love involves actions. You're making a call to someone, you're driving to somebody, you're taking a plane ride to see somebody. It's a knock on a door. It's ordering a pizza. It's, you know, making a reservation for a romantic dinner. I don't know. There's all these different things that it involves. Courage for my divorcing clients, you know, courage to fill out all the forms. Who doesn't want to do that, right? So who said this one? Well, I'm going to take credit for it. This is mine. Myth number 2, when it comes to love, I need to hold back to protect my heart. Now, some people don't say it. I put quotes on them. A lot of people aren't saying it with the quotation marks, but they're sure as heck feeling it. And when I'm working with my clients who are struggling in their marriage, I tell them, you cannot hold back, all right? And I get them to tell me and admit to me that they are holding something back, because that's what we do. We're humans. That's what we do, right? So who says that? Says everybody who went through a terrible breakup. I had to hold back. Well, that's why you had your terrible breakup, because you held back. That's the number 1 reason why you had a breakup. Love is a risky game, in it to win it, all in. So one of the things that I teach everybody is to be successful in love. Honestly, you have to be all in. It's a scary place to be. It's like being on the diving board and you forget what the instructor told you. It's like, oh, do I hold my breath or do I hold my nose? Just do both of it. You'll win. It's really important to be all in. It's scary. It's risky. There's no guarantees, but it's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. And when I say all in, it's not 100%, it's 150%. You try to be more than 100%. The person that you're dating or that you want to meet has to be over 100% as well. Okay. Here comes another one. Myth number 3. I always feel like I'm lisping when I say it's the myth, but it's not. It is a myth. Myth number 3. This is my favorite one. Oh my gosh, with difficult clients that I'm trying to couple coach. That's just who I am. Come on now. Seriously, everybody says that. That's just who I am, right? Well, I'm argumentative. That's just what I am. Nope. Love, true love, cares about the recipient that you're inflicting yourself on. So when I went to my husband's first family dinner at his mom's house, oh my God, I can't. They're all Italian, and everybody but them, everybody but me is married. Like, they're all Italian. His sisters and brothers are Italians. The people that they married are Italian, and their little offsprings are all Italian. I swear they even have like Italian dogs. I'm like, I'm so Irish, it is funny, right? And I'm sitting at this table going, what the heck? These people are like flying these insults around, and they're like, hey, I called you 3 days ago and I asked you to help me with the shed. You didn't come over. What's the matter with you? And poor Dennis is like, I was busy. I was working that day. I'm like, these people are like the anti-love coach, like love languages here. I'm like, you guys are killing me. And so my husband was like, that's just who they are. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying into that, because, you and I had to figure out how to work well together, because I hold back sometimes because I'm Irish. We don't like to talk about anything. That's why we have rugs in every single room. We push everything under the rug. My husband and I'm telling you, it's so comical. I almost should do TikToks, but he'd be offended. I don't know. I do drag him, though. I will say he's a guinea pig for me, and I drag him to all my marriage conferences where I have to learn more couples work. He's like, ugh. I'm like, come on, we're even going to go on stage. You're going to love it, right? Okay, myth number 4. They should know what I need. Okay, said every woman about her husband. I'm sorry, but we just went through New Year's Eve, my personal favorite. I don't kiss at midnight. I'm like, forget it. I'm going to kiss you at 9:30 and that's it, because I'm not going to see you at midnight. I'm going to be asleep. Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas. Oh my God, bar mitzvahs, you name it. People are like, oh, my loved ones should know what I need, what I want. That, you know, that was like the most ridiculous thing. I'm like, you can say that if you want, but it ain't going to work for you. The truth is, okay, come on, you guys. Most men and women are not mind readers. All right. If you want it, ask nicely for it. Leave some hints. What's a hint? It's called a piece of paper with the thing listed on it, right? What's a hint? Oh my gosh, like I really want to like fix this sink, but I don't have that special screwdriver. It's a number 355 something wrench. I'm just making that up because I don't know that kind of stuff. Whatever it is, say it 20 times and put it on a piece of paper, or better yet, here's what you do. This is kind of passive aggressive, but you know, it's free advice. It works. I do like passive aggressive maneuvers. Be the one that asks your partner or your boyfriend or your spouse, hey, you know, I don't want to miss the mark on this. And you're probably secretly wishing you had something besides, you know, chocolate Santa things in your stocking and another sweater and another tie. That's just me putting it out there. Maybe you do want another tie, but you know, think outside the box. Literally, what would you love to open this year that I might not think about? And then, of course, if this is your loved one, they're going to ask you the same thing. So you will be able to ask in one way or another, right? But do not expect that anybody that you're with, whether you're dating them for 3 months or you're married to them for 30 years, it's just not right. That also says you may think they want a dishwasher, but trust me, they don't. Okay. Here's another one. Last but not least, myth number 5. This is my favorite. This is another favorite. I deserve this. Bad luck just follows me around. Like, oh my God, you know, and I'll be honest, I'm transparent. Mike knows that. Mike and I talk a lot about our love lives and, you know, what we have and what we don't have, what we want, what we wish was better. I'll be honest. I've been looking for love in all the wrong places for so many years. You can't even count them all, you know? I'm on my 3rd marriage. Okay. 3rd time's a charm. I'm in it to win it. And I finally am with the right person. I kiddingly put into my vows, D is for dirt. My pastor's like, I told you not to say that. I'm like, well, too bad. I said it. It's really important to know that it's sort of like the law of attraction. You don't deserve something. That's just, you know, you can fail a lot of times. It doesn't mean that you deserve bad luck for the rest of your life. Okay. The truth is we all deserve to be happy. We deserve joy. I love the word joy. Don't even, I'm not kidding you guys. 3 of my friends in high school, who I'm still friends with, all 3 women, their name is Joy. I'm like, is that a sign or what? And I needed it because my parents were going through a horrible divorce. So as luck would have it, or as the universe, or for me, as a faith-based woman, God, he put 3 people that emitted more joy than I could even count on 2 hands. But the joy is what you're seeking. You're not looking for Mr. and Mrs. Right. You're not looking for another person to complete you. That was another one I hate. You're looking for joy, because where you have joy is where you're going to have love. And what that means is putting positive people around you. You know, sometimes your friends become a little toxic. Well, probably shouldn't be hanging out with them anymore. You don't have to be the person that holds that toxic person up all the time. Let somebody else take over, you know, because that'll pull you down. And just, hey, look, I think I'm done here. So your past does not define you. And this is my favorite quote in life. Worry doesn't empty tomorrow of its sorrows. It empties today of its strength. Corrie ten Boom, look her up. Her life story is amazing. And so, hey, thanks for listening, you guys. It was just so much fun talking about love. Who doesn't want to talk about love?
You know, one thing for everybody here that Judith and I talk about, if you have a friend that's constantly complaining, oh, the love of my life got away, and they're driving you nuts. It's been a week, it's been a month, it's been 10 years. You know, those are the type of folks you want to get to Judith, because she can work with them. And, you know, we're not psychologists, you know, most of us, right? So we want to refer those kind of people to Judith. So if you think about people like that they haven't got over somebody, those are perfect referrals for her. So that was great, Judith. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So
Thanks.
We're going to move on. We have one more sponsor, Jeff Kyle, who he came to me through Jay Barry. And by the time we talked And I said, what'd you think about NRG? He's like, I'm ready to join. He made his 500 hours back that day. Jeff is not as loud as me, but oh my God, is he effective. He's been bringing me people. I said, Jeff, you're already inviting people. What do you think about being expansion director? He's like, he asked me a couple of questions and he's like, he's in. Jeff's the kind of guy, I feel like I've known him forever. He's down to earth. He'll tell you what he thinks. He's just effective. I think that's the best word I can use. All 3 visitors in Pittsburgh were from Jeff. And Jeff, I've been meaning to text you to thank you. The only one I haven't heard back from is the new one who's doing staffing. The other 2, you know, I hung on with the gentleman who does promotional. He joined, and the SEO woman called me back. She joined. I think she's on the Zoom today. And you have a knack, Jeff, you're just a natural networker. That's what I really like about you. Your business is through the roof. He's got a special offer today for all the NRG members. And he hired Jay Barry, who is his sales manager, who I've known forever. Jay and I are like 2 brothers, not from another mother. We pick on each other. we always joke each other. But the fact of the matter is, I met Jay on LinkedIn. We talked for an hour, which I never even talked to anyone for an hour. And I met him in Lancaster, and he joined right away. And Rambir's got the newest NRG member about to join. You see the baby? So anyway, we are going to turn it over to Jeff. We're going to try to go, Jeff, about 242 to about 252. And then I'm going to turn it over to Julie, and we're going to do the long-awaited, much-anticipated breakout room. So, Jeff, let's go to you, buddy.
All right. Well, first of all, the person you're talking about, her name is Kelly Harvey, and she writes excellent content. If anybody wants to find her, she's in the chat, her information. She does a good job. So my name is Jeff Cly. I'm the owner of Fastest Feedback, which is a company that gets business owners honest, anonymous feedback from their customers every day. And we get over 50% response rate. So we're all business owners, or we work in business, and everybody wants their business to thrive. Everybody wants to give a good experience. They want their customers happy. That makes you happy. How do you do that? Well, you have to know what your customers want, what they like. And the only way to do that is to ask them. And that's why you see large companies, and especially smart business owners now, are really going after this information. You're probably getting bombarded with emails and texts saying, you know, please give us your feedback. It's important to us. Just take a moment to fill out this survey, please. If you've been to retail, like a grocery store or to a restaurant lately, you see at the bottom of your receipts, you know, please go back and log in and give us your feedback. And if you do, maybe we'll give you a free sandwich or some French fries on your next stop. Well, that's because this information is exceedingly valuable to them, and they are trying every which way they can to get this information. We should probably all follow their lead because they know how important it is. Their problem right now is that they're getting around 1 to 3% response rate, but we'll talk about that later. And that's why I built this business, to help companies get over half of their clients or customers to respond to them. So what is important about this is because they realize the importance of knowing who their customers are, what are their customer demographics, where are they from? They want to know what they think of their products, their services, their parking, their pricing, their variety, their cleanliness, their staff. Why don't they come more often? What makes them come as often as they do? How many people come with them? I could go on, but this is an extremely important, valuable information. And what it does is it enables these businesses to give better customer experience. And when you're giving a better customer experience, you're less likely to lose customers. It's called customer churn. And it's estimated that companies lose over $6 billion a year by customer churn. That means that your clients are going to somebody else because there's something that you're doing that they don't like, or that they wish you did better. If you don't ask them, you won't know what that is. And it costs over 5 times more to bring in a new customer to replace an old customer than it does to simply keep your customers. That's how you grow a business. You keep your base, you bring in new customers, and you retain them as loyal customers. It's not sustainable to bring in a customer, have them come once or twice, and then go to a competitor and continuously bring in new customers. You're just going to go out of business that way. And loyal, happy customers that are having a good customer experience spend around 140 times more than a customer who's not having a good customer experience. Think about how much money that is to your business and your revenue. You know, if you're in the service industry or anything like that, you may not even have a client except for 2 times a year. They have to think of you first. They can't forget about you or go to a client. You need that repeat business. And sometimes people ask, well, what kind of questions would I ask? What would I want to know? Well, how about where are your customers from, for one thing? If you have a lot of customers that are coming in from 20 or 30 miles away, you may want to expand and open another facility over there. You might be thwarting your business. There might be a demand there. Or you might find that if you live in a seasonal area, that a lot of your business patrons actually are locals, and you've been closing in the non-busy times or the off season. And here you didn't even know that you could have stayed open because you have so many locals coming. They could sustain your business during the off season. You have to know all of this information. So some people may say, well, I look at online reviews like Google or Yelp, and I can get that information from there, but that's not actually true. You can't actually glean any information from a Google review or a Yelp review. You know, if I were to go to a restaurant and I were to say, leave a review there, I might say, I love the shrimp scampi and the location is great for my lodging. I stop here every time I'm in town. Well, that doesn't give you any information. I may be the only person in the world that likes your shrimp scampi, but you're reading my review. And what does that mean? How often do I come to your business? Every time I'm in town, do I live across the United States, and you know, every 4th of July I come in to visit my aunt and I stay at her house and she lives around the corner, so I stop down there? Or do I live just in the next town and I come in once a week and I stop? How many people are in my party? What would make me come more often? What stops me from coming more often? You don't know any of that with a Google review. And I am an odd person, I guess. There's around 3 to 4% of the people who actually like black licorice, for example. I happen to like black licorice. Well, perhaps me and Mike Weiner both like it. And we stop into a candy store and they have about 200 people a day that come through, but only 4 of them fill out a Google review. And me and Mike are 2 of them. And both times we fill out that we would like more black licorice options. Well, they're going to think 50% of their customers want that, but in reality, they're not going to have that information. You need to get more people giving honest, anonymous feedback than that. There was an MIT study by a guy named Duncan Simister that he estimated that less than 1% of any customer, of any business's customers actually leave review. He found that a shocking number of online reviews aren't even by people that were customers. So you have no way of getting information from Google reviews that's really useful to you. The reason that you need so much information is that you can't make a cumulative business decision without having at least 35% response rate from customers. If you have anything less than that, then it's too varied. You can't really get a good sense of what your customers think. Anything over 50% is outstanding, and you can make strong business decisions based on that. And the reason that it needs to be honest and anonymous, and you don't want to practice just walking up and asking customers, because most people are non-confrontational. If I was at your place of business and you asked me, how did I do? I would say, oh, it was great, because I want you to like me. I like you maybe, but I don't like your product and services. I'm not going to recommend you to my family and friends. I'm not going to leave a bad review online somewhere, but I'm certainly not going to recommend you, and I'm not coming back. You don't know the reason why. I'll give a great story. It's about Cheeseburger Ellen. There was a woman who every Wednesday on her lunch break went to the local sandwich shop and she ordered a cheeseburger and iced tea. And it was the only place that was local to her. And she stopped down every single Wednesday and she got to know the staff. She got to know the owner. They loved her. She was happy when she was there, it seemed. And what they didn't know is that Ellen was a little bit irritated because they always put too many onions on the hamburgers, on her cheeseburger, and she had to pick them off. And they only gave her a flimsy straw to stir sugar into her iced tea, and she never felt like she got the crystals out. She wished that they had offered her a long spoon. She asked once, they said they didn't have them, and they never thought about it again. She came there as a customer for months and months, and one day another sandwich shop opened up about a block away, and on Wednesday, Ellen didn't show up. The staff didn't know, the owner didn't know why. Maybe she's sick, maybe she's on vacation. Another week comes by, she doesn't show up. A month goes by, they hope she's okay. A couple months goes by, they know that they lost a customer and they have no idea why, because they never asked Ellen, how could they improve? What could they do to bring her in more? All they had to do was ask her, and she would have told them, and she would still be there. She's a block away every Wednesday eating a cheeseburger, and they lost that to the competition. So if you're a smart business owner, you understand how you need this, and it's a value proposition. And because I love NRG, as Mike pointed out, Jay and I are offering any NRG member a month of this free, no setup fee. Normally it's $199 setup fee, and it's $89 a month starting in month 1. But Jay and I are going to give it away free for a month to anybody that's in NRG that wants to use it. And I'd be happy to do a one-on-one, have a call with anybody, or help them. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, Jeff, 3 things I learned today. A happy client orders 140 times more. Number 2, there's restaurants in America ordering way too much shrimp. And number 3, you and I both like black licorice. So I learned 3 valuable things today. That was really, Jeff, for all the Zooms you've been on, that was phenomenal. I was just sitting here listening to every word. So I appreciate your support. That was a great presentation. I feel like we've kind of hit all the different topics. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn it over to Julie and Michelle, the breakout room. We're going to do one breakout session for 10 minutes. Whoever's running it will have each person go for a minute, quick summary. And we're going to go for about 10 minutes. I'm going to be staying here in the main room. It's 2:53 now. So if you get settled in the next few minutes, we'll go to whatever 10 minutes is from when you get settled in. So probably about 3:05, we'll come back. That's about 12 minutes away. And then after that, we're going to go Jennifer Garcia, Michelle, and I are going to wrap this up. Really fascinating sponsorships, and love everybody who spoke today and just the energy and everything. So Julie, I'm going to turn it over to you and Michelle. You guys are going to orchestrate the breakout room, and I'm going to stay here. So hopefully everyone's going in the breakout room, and I'm just chatting to me, myself, and I.
All right. Hi, everybody. We are doing the door prizes, and I have everybody's name on here who pre-registered. If you did not pre-register, you might not be on the list. You do need to be present to win. So we will see how this goes. And first, we're going to give away 4 sets of business cards from Greg Barber. And so his info is in the chat. Just get in touch with him if you are the winner. All right, Jay Barry. And if,
I like
and if for any reason you want to pass, we can pass that along to somebody else. But all right, do the next one.
It's like the NRG Wheel of Fortune. Woo-hoo.
All right, is there Jacobus Jansen in attendance? Are you here? This person might not be there.
I am.
Oh, okay. All right, then you're winner number 2.
me, pick me.
All right, Coach Judy.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! I was just gonna type. I need them. I need them. Pick me.
Oh,
Pick
good.
me.
Okay. All right. You're number 3. These are all totally random. And wheelofnames.com.
Been that wheel.
Anita Ferguson. Do you need new business cards?
She is here.
Yeah, Anita.
Okay, good. All right. You're winner number 4. And then we have Ronnie, are you still here? Did you have to step away for a minute? I know you had to step away. We were going to give, what, 3 different books for Ronnie?
Oh, yes. I'm here, yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right, great. All right, so we'll
Ronnie
do
is in
3.
the house.
All right, we'll do 3 spins for Ronnie. You can get in touch with Ronnie Francois, the credit hero.
Yep.
All right, Judy.
I'm here.
Yay. All right, so get in touch with Ronnie Francois, the credit hero, and
Judy.
he will
Hey,
give you a
Judy,
signed
that's
copy
funny.
of one of his books.
That's funny because Judy was referred from Anita a while back. So that's hilarious. That's great.
Oh, okay. C. Morgan. All right.
I'm here.
Great.
Hey.
Let's see.
And 3rd book goes to
See, Morgan, that's great. Julie, did you do this in a past life? You're a natural.
Jeff Clee. Cly, sorry. I've been mispronouncing your name. It's Cly, sorry.
I know. I've been mispronouncing
Jeff
it
Cly.
too.
All right. So
I had a
get in
co-
touch
I
with
knew I
Ronnie
had-
and you can get one of his
That's
books.
great. Yeah, Jeff.
And then the grand prize, a 30-minute consultation session with Mike Weiner and Michelle Wilson to help you tackle a whatever issue in your business that you think Mike and Michelle can help you with.
Michelle, I forgot to tell you, I put us up together.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow, I hope I don't win.
I know. No. I put us up for that, you and me.
All right, Ben Williams. All right, one of our new members, Ben.
And he
All
is.
right. Ben, are you still here?
He is.
Okay.
Then we'll coordinate next week, you, Michelle, and I, either at Houston or Dallas. Yeah. What'd you like best?
Yeah, I love the fact that, there were 6 people and we got to really give a little bit about not only who we were, but what we did. And we were able to really get, to know each other a little more. And we're going to do one-on-ones. Everybody agreed. Yeah, let's do a one-on-one. It was fabulous.
What, John Coleman, brand new to NRG. What'd you like best? Breakout session.
Yeah, I just like meeting everyone from around the country, smaller groups so you get to know someone on a personal level.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. One more person, Cheryl Miller. I've known forever. What'd you like best?
Well,
Go
I
ahead,
liked
meet-
it. I liked it. It's of course breakout rooms are a lot more intimate, and
Yeah.
we got a chance to also commit to meeting with one another.
Good.
And we were able to get a little more information because we had more time the second time around. So I'd
Okay.
asked everybody to, tell us a little bit more, and it was great.
We're going to move quickly now. Thanks for the feedback. We've got 3 more speakers, 10 minutes. I'm not going to go 10 minutes, but Jennifer Garcia, you here?
I'm here.
All right. So Jen's been with me for years. She and I are close friends. She does great Reiki sessions. We were talking the other day and I was like, what's a good topic? And we went back and forth and people are asking her, I joined NRG, what next? So Jennifer is going to talk about, I just joined NRG, what do I do now? And then Michelle is going to talk about, I've been in NRG for 3 months, what do I do now? And then I'm going to talk about Zoom etiquette, certain things you should do to prepare for a Zoom. So we're going to go about, 10 minutes. If it's less, it's less, but I'm not going to hold you exactly to it, but we're at 3:20. So you'll go to about 3:30 and Michelle to 3:40, and I'll wrap this up by 3:50 and we'll hang on at the end. If anyone wants to stay with us, that'll be great. But, Jennifer Garcia is a great person, a great Reiki therapist. And I'm going to let her talk about, hey, John Coleman just joined NRG last week. Payroll, Sarasota. What does he do next? So, Jen, the Zoom floor is all yours.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're
Well, good
welcome.
afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around. So I'm putting something in the chat. Okay. And forgive me if it doesn't go as effectively in the chat. I'm going to be sharing it with you in a second anyway. But I wanted to share it in the chat so that you have it in the chat as well. I'm having to break it up because for some reason when I tried to do it all together, it did not want to go. Okay, so I'm going to do a share screen, everybody. So forgive me for a second as I do that. So yeah, what Mike was saying is definitely, I have had quite a few people recently that have said to me, I need to know more. So here we go. So point two, make sure. Can everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Let me scroll to the top. Okay, there we go. Okay, can everybody see that clearly? Okay, great. So, so I've done some really great one-to-one. Some of them of new members, some of them are existing members. And really part of it is just wondering, okay, what do? I joined, what's the next step? So I decided to actually come up with a checklist. Those of you that are newcomers, this will be definitely beneficial for you because I'm sure you haven't done half of this. For those of you that are existing members, there might still be things here that you haven't done yet. So I hope that you'll find some information that's useful to you. So step by step, I literally am taking you like one step at a time in terms of membership. So you literally just joined, you paid your membership, now what? So the first thing you got to do, I know Mike would probably say, go visit a meeting, but actually my advice to you is contact Julie, okay? So Julie Lickman, she is our NRG customer service manager. She is our #1 administrative guru. She is the behind the scenes person that every one of us has to go to at some point or another. And so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to reach out to Julie and say, hey, I just joined. Because what Julie is going to do is a few things for you. #1, she's going to send you an informative email that's going to give you every link, every bit of information that you need to know about NRG. #2, you want to be able to promote your business. Well, it helps if your information is in the NRG chart. So that's one of the things that she's going to do. She's going to add you into the NRG chart. When you contact Julie, you want to make sure that you not only give her your name, your contact info, but a brief description about your business, what your business does, but also what sets you apart. Why are you special? What is your unique selling proposition? Because then she's going to take that and she's going to share it to all our NRG social media sites. And so that's going to be step #2, connect with NRG. Okay, so you may not be familiar with all the different ways to connect with NRG, so I'm actually going to list them. #1, NRG is on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, we have a Facebook group, and you want to connect with Mike and also your fellow members on Facebook. LinkedIn, we have a LinkedIn page, we have a LinkedIn group, and you want to connect with Mike on LinkedIn as well as your fellow members. And we also have an Instagram. Mike is on Instagram and NRG Instagram. So if you haven't already connected with all of those sites, do so. And for those of you that are not yet on social media, what are you waiting for? Social media is a platform that really all of us here should be utilizing. And those of us that are utilizing it, we are maximizing our potential here at NRG with connecting with each other outside of the meetings. We're being able to reach out to each other and connect with each other outside of the meetings. Not only that, but part of your NRG membership is getting promoted through social media. Well, it's only so effective if Julie puts something out there for you, but if you're not on there, people can't connect with you on there. It only goes so far. So you really want to take advantage of our social media if you haven't already. Okay, so next thing on the list as we're going through. So some new members are like attending the meetings. They're like, I don't really get the NRG meeting structure. So I'm actually going to just break it down for you. The NRG meeting structure is really basic. #1, announcements. So Mike or whoever the leader of the group is will talk about the latest announcements, meetings, upcoming extravaganzas, speaker series, anything that we need to know. Next is information for visitors. So if there's a visitor to the group, Mike will give some information to visitors that they need to know about membership, about NRG, what makes us great. Then we do introductions. Now the introductions are brief, just name, business name, and one brief sentence that describes who you are and what you do. After that is what we get into the pinball. So I'm going to pull it up and try, see if I can pull this up. Forgive me for the, I'm trying to find my mouse. Okay, here we go. So I actually decided to use a visual on a pinball.
Oh, cool. I like it. I like it.
Because the thing is this, you'd be surprised how many people, when you say pinball, don't actually know what that is. So, and so I think that's part of the reason why people are like, what the heck is a pinball? What does it mean? So I wanted to give you an actual visual of a pinball. So the old-fashioned pinball machines, so basically what would happen is the ball would go down and would hit all of these different structures on the sides. And so the concept that Mike had is that is us. And so the ball is information. The ball is referrals. And we are the different connections on the side that it's bouncing off of, okay? So across the room, we are bouncing off these referrals one another to each other like a pinball machine. That's where the concept came from. So for those of you that are like, what the heck does that even mean? I wanted to give you this visual. And so that's where the concept is. We are these different connectors and we are bouncing that ball from each other, connecting each other. And that's what the pinball concept is. Now, the words themselves, pinball stands for power partners, industries, named accounts. And so here we go back to power partners, industries, and named accounts. So power partners. So if you're in an industry, for example, like real estate, power partners would be realtors, insurance, anyone in the home industry like security, painting. So whatever your industry is, who are your power partners? Who are people that you work with, that you refer business to, that you work with on a daily basis or on an occasional basis? Those are that's what we call power partners, people that are in your industry. Okay, so that's number one, power partners. That's the P. Industries. So who have you done business with in terms of industries? Okay, so are you looking for people in the insurance industry, the finance industry, the health industry? So who are industries that you're looking to target? And named accounts is specific businesses. Is there a business that you've been trying to get into and you just can't get past that gatekeeper person and you want to try to just get to the owner? Well, there might be somebody in your group that knows the owner of that business that you've been trying to get into. So that's named accounts. So that's where the pinball, power partners, industries, and named accounts. So a couple of pieces of advice when you're doing your pinball. When you're pinball, don't overwhelm everybody. And this is, I got to tell you, it is a rookie mistake. And I tell you, I am one of those that made that mistake time and time again. So that's why I say it's a rookie mistake, because I did it. When I started networking, I would give my intro, and I would tell everything. And then the person would be like, their eyes glazed over. Because you're so excited about what you do and the information that you provide and how you help others, that you just want to go there and tell everybody about what you do. And that's wonderful. Enthusiasm is a great thing. But if you give people too much information, what happens is their brain goes into overload. There's only so much we can absorb in like 30 seconds, in 1 minute, in 2 minutes. And so it's actually better to say less rather than more. And I know that's a tough concept because you're like, well, I want to get it all in. But remember, okay, that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, we're in it for the long haul. You're here every single week. So it's okay if you don't say everything today, because you're going to say something else tomorrow, or rather the next week and the week after that. And so each week you want to have something else that you're focusing on. in terms of that power partner that you're looking for, that industry that you're looking for. You know, what a different type of service. You know, I'll give you a perfect example. Somebody from my networking group, ADT security. So every week he would come in and talk about ADT security, we secure your home. And well, I'm not in a position to be of direct referral to him in that capacity. But one day he said, you know what? We also do that I've fallen and I can't get up thing where like, you know, you got the thing around the neck for senior citizens. I'm like, you know what? I know like 3 people that I can completely refer you to. And those 3 people, one of them referred business to him, boom, right after that. So think about your business in terms of the bigger picture, and each time do a little bit. Less is more. Okay. Now, when receiving referrals, okay, you definitely need to follow up as quickly as possible. If you're not sure about the referral, like I said, let's say somebody gives you the name, and you're like, oh gosh, what was that person? Follow up with the person who gave you the referral and say, okay, do you want me to immediately reach out to this person? Do you want to do a 3-way intro for me to this person? How do you want me to approach this referral that you gave me? If you're not entirely clear on how to follow up with that referral. And one thing that's really important, and somebody said it a little bit earlier today, and I think it's important to reiterate it, and that is, if you think that that immediate call is going to be closed business, that's not always, that's you're coming in with the wrong attitude. Somebody has said this earlier, and you're right. Does closed business happen? Yeah, it does. Does it happen every single time? No. Okay. Like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. What we're here is about building networks. Okay. So best-selling self-help author Napoleon Hill says, patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. And so it's about building these relationships. These referrals aren't just, oh, this person is going to be a client. No, this person is going to be a relationship that we're going to build to get clients down the road. And I can tell you that there have been times where I've called someone and they are a hard no. They're like, nope, not interested. I don't get what you do. Not interested. I'm done. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then what do? I take that hard no and then I connect with that person on social media. I take that hard no and I add that person to my e-newsletter and I follow up with them. And I continue to send them information. Okay. But I don't call them. I don't nag them. I don't pursue them. I'm like, you know what? I just continue to inform them about what I do. And time again, I've had people who are hard no come to me 2 months later, 6 months later, even a year later, and suddenly be like, yeah, I'm ready. And so that's the thing. I gave them the space to say that no because they weren't ready today. And when they were, they came to me because it's about building trust. Okay, so, American businessman Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, said the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. So here we're about building networks. We're about building our businesses and making those important connections. And one of the ways that we do that is not just in the meetings, but one-to-ones. It's really important that you meet with each and every one of your members and do a one-to-one, even if you think that you can't be a referral to them, even if you think that they're in an industry that doesn't connect with you at all. Somebody said it earlier that they were like, oh, I met with this Mary Kay person. How am I going to connect with a Mary Kay person? Okay. And then they discovered that that person knows exactly who they needed to do business with. And that's the thing. Don't make the assumption that there's a member in your group that you can't connect with, that the industry is not something that jives with your business, because you don't know who that person might know. And that person might be the very person you need. So many people will refer people in the health and wellness industry, and I always welcome that. But I welcome everybody. There have been so many NRG members that have referred business to me. They're not in the health and wellness industry at all. But that's okay. So it's important to connect with everybody and do a one-to-one. And when you do, it's not all about you. It's about connecting with that person, learning about that person. Because remember, we're here to give referrals to each other. So just as you're getting referrals, you also got to be giving referrals. And so with that, I'm going to pass on to my wonderful, fabulous NRG Vice President, Michelle Wilson, to talk about how we do just that, how we give referrals.
All righty. So, and you covered one-on-ones too, right?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. So, my topic, let me figure out how to, can you all see me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so my topics to start with is going to be listening effectively and giving referrals. And there's a couple things that you need to know in that space. So when we listen, what we're listening for in pinball are those keywords that actually jog our memory so that we know somebody in our database that would then be very much a fit to who they're looking for. And as you get accustomed to being in meetings and hearing things, because like a lot of people here in Texas say is they don't hear as fast as I speak, you'll be able to hear faster when people speak fast, and you'll be able to connect those people almost instantaneously. The other thing too is don't forget that if it's an effective way for you, put that contact also in the chat for that person. They have another reference. When we give a referral, we give a name and a phone number. When we reach out to that referral, there's a little thing that we do. So say I gave a referral to Jennifer. I'm going to reach out, and I got that referral from Mike. I'm going to reach out to Jennifer and say, hey, Jennifer, Mike Weiner, the CEO of NRG, thought that we should connect. So I am calling to see if we can schedule a Zoom to see how we can help each other out. Because you want action words in that. You want to make a connection, because those referrals are more valuable when you use the name of the person who referred you and how you're connected. So that just adds to that. The next thing I want to do is you're going to be giving referrals. So make sure you have a contact information. I know there's a lot of connections with LinkedIn. So have that information available. I've done it. If it works better in LinkedIn to do a three-way connect, introduce them to that person. That's a great way to do that. Same thing with Facebook. Have that information available. If you have that link of that person, share that link with the person you're trying to connect them to. Next thing is we want to invite guests to our NRG meetings. We do that verbally. The other most important way, and Mike stresses this quite regularly, is to do the three-way text with Mike. He is the CEO of this company. He connects with people very, very well. That's how he's made part of his database of all of those connections of people he knows. And so what it is I'm going to give you Mike Weiner's phone number. So if you want this script sent to you, just text him and say, please send three-way invite. His phone number is 443-756-9656. And this is the example of what you would be sending to someone. Again, you're going to need to change pronouns, names, and what they do. But it's as simple as this, and it's super effective. Hey, Laura, I'd like to introduce you to Mike Weiner, who is the CEO of Network Referral Group, NRG. I recently joined this full-service collaborative networking organization, and it's helping me grow my business in leaps and bounds. Mike, Laura Lewis is the owner of Laura's Landscaping in Laurel, Maryland. Apparently, we were on the L's for that. Way to go. Can you please tell Laura a bit more about NRG and invite her to a meeting? Thanks. And then Mike will respond back. We will find out when is a good meeting for them to attend, because they need to experience what we do. Because, like I say in my testimonial, there's a lot of networking out there. There's a lot of bad networking out of there. There's some mediocre networking, and there's some good networking out of there. But if groups are not networking like a verb, they're not really networking. There has to be action and collaboration. And that allows us to make that connection in a better space. We want you to participate in the extra things that NRG does. One of those things is I'm pretty proud of is I run the Mastermind Collaborative. And we meet on the second and fourth Thursdays every month. It's at 2:30 Eastern time. We either run an hour or longer. It just depends on the size of the group and how much we do. And that whole premise is bring your biggest business challenge, problem, situation, something you need advice in, because each and every one of us absolutely shine in certain aspects of our business. and there's others that we're not quite so shiny with. The people in this group excel at what they do too, and that might be that exact fit for you to solve that problem that you're not the best at solving. So it's that collaborative spirit that we do. What I am going to do is going forward for the next, probably the next couple of months, we are starting with also a book series. Along with that, we're reading Fanatical Prospecting, and we're going to start going through that book. So that will be part of the mastermind also. So if you would like to attend for that part of it, we would love to have you. We're all starting to read chapter 1 through 5 for the next meeting. And that's on my personal Zoom, which is 410-747-5841. And there's a passcode 6879. And we would love to have you attend. It's not a mandatory, got to be there every week kind of thing. It's come as you can. And we have really big groups. We have more intimate groups, and we just discuss those things. It's very informative. And if there's not a lot of things, then I'll go off on a topic in business that we can all grow from. We also ask that you attend quarterly extravaganzas, because you're going to learn more about people. And with the success of the breakout room, you're going to have a more intimate connection with other people that you weren't exposed to in your regular meetings. The other great thing that NRG does is you want to go to the speaker series, because we have some super talented people in this organization that can speak on a topic that can help. Like today, Cynthia was absolutely fantastic. Her topic of mindset and getting into that headspace oh goodness sakes, I got tongue tied. Reaches people in a different way. Depending on where you are in your life, it can speak to you one way, and it can speak to me a completely different way, depending on where you are in your life and your business. And I find that a lot with our speakers. It speaks to you where you need to hear it, and then it can adapt to things moving forward. So there's a lot of valuable information on there. The other thing is, make sure you're visiting other NRG groups that do not have somebody that holds your seat in that category. I do ask that you reach out to the leader of that group to make sure that there's someone that hasn't just come in, that hasn't showed up on the roll or on the charts, that is a member of that group, because we don't want crossover. That's part of one of our things being as exclusive as we can. And I probably talked really fast, because that's what I do, and I apologize. But I did want to add one more thing that's kind of off topic. I wanted to add something that I've seen recently that I thought was pretty powerful. And all of us are so worried that we have to have a talent for what we do. But there is so much in this world that you can do with absolute zero talent. And all of us can do this. And if we use that premise in our everyday life and have that walk towards everything we do, everything gets better. So the 10 things that require zero talent. Number 1, be on time. Anybody can do that. It doesn't take a talent to do that. It takes a watch and maybe an alarm, but not a talent. Have a great work ethic. All of us can do that too. And being that we're here, I believe all of you already possess that. Put in the effort. Again, if you're networking and you're not following up and you're not doing those things, there's no reason to be networking, because you're not putting the effort in to get to your successful place. Number 4, have some energy. This is NRG. It's not, I'm taking a nap. Let's do that. We need to be excited about what we do. When you do that, people see who you are for real. Number 5, body language. Don't be all like, hey, dude, here I am. I'm at NRG. Be engaged. Put your phone down. It's an hour. And if it's my meeting, it might be only 30 minutes, because I run things pretty fast. Just saying. But put your phone down. Be engaged, because that's why we're here. Number 6, have some passion about what you do. Don't be like, hey, yeah, I'm Michelle. I do, utilities. It's super exciting. That's not going to get you what you want. It's not going to get you who you need. It's not going to make people want to work with you or refer you. Number 7, go the extra mile. That doesn't take a talent. It just takes a little bit more. What was that number 3? Effort. And we need to do those things. Number 8, be prepared. If you were to show up and have a meeting with a multi-million-dollar client and you don't have a presentation, you don't have the documentation, you don't know anything about them, you're not going to get the sale. You're not going to get the contract. You're not going to make that connection. So be prepared in everything you do. All it takes is a little bit of time, not any talent. Number 9, be coachable. I mean, we all had to do it at some point in time. I mean, we went to kindergarten, some teacher told you be in a line. Well, that's being coachable if you got in the line. It's like, if you're a girl, go to this side of the room. If you're a boy, go to this side of the room. If, you know, you just have to be coachable. I mean, come on. In baseball, you don't stand there and put the glove on the ground and think it's going to catch the ball. You have to be coachable. Number 10, have the right attitude. Attitude is everything. If you come into NRG thinking, you know, this is a waste of my time, I'm not going to get who I need, you are absolutely right. Oh my goodness gracious, I just drew a blank. Holy cow. Law of attraction is all about attitude. You have the right attitude, you're going to attract those people to you. So I want you so much to show up, be who you are, be excited about who you are, because it's not the talent, it's the person that has the success. And I'm going to turn it back to you, Mike, because I think I went a little crazy.
I don't think I've ever laughed so much at an event. Jennifer, great job speaking. Michelle, great job speaking. Jennifer, if you probably did some screens.
I've got one more. Cheryl Miller told me I forgot something.
Well,
you are supposed to bring the cutest grandbaby with you to every meeting you can.
Michelle's got a cute grandbaby. Hey, Jennifer, if you can, you probably did some screenshots. Can you go on my Facebook and put them there? And then everyone that's here, can you go there and comment? Let people know what they missed. Let them know one thing that you picked up, how excited you are. My voice is getting shot. I'm going to make this. Maurice and I love each other and we pick on each other. I don't want you to unmute. I'm going to say something really funny. In kindergarten, when they said get in line, go boys or girls, not only did Maurice not get in line, but he went towards the girls' line. But that was just for fun, Maurice, because you know I love you. You know I love you. So, you know, we're all coachable now. Mike from Lancaster, I heard your hoot hoot on Michelle, so that was good. A lot of passion. Yeah, but Jen, if you can put that up there and then everybody can comment. Great extravaganza. The numbers are going up. We had a lot more members. Last time we had more visitors. Next time we're going to put it all together. It was a great time. I enjoyed everybody. A week ago I had the infection, and my voice is back. My voice, it's almost back, but the energy is back. So I have come up with a couple things about Zoom etiquette. I have, number one, brush your hair. I have a hairbrush in every bathroom. If you're bald, I saw Jeff do it. If you're bald, don't worry about it. But, I keep a hairbrush in the car. When we used to meet live, the last thing you want to do is go in disheveled. And I'm going to use the word disheveled. Women usually have a hairbrush in their purse. I call it a Samsonite, Lisa. Some of your purses are pretty big. Not you, but just saying. I have a hairbrush every bathroom in the house. So you want to make sure that the hair is there and not a distraction. 2, get yourself pumped. Michelle Wilson won me over, not because her energy was like mine. And I knew what I wanted in a VP, and it was a natural fit. She never sold herself to me. She didn't have to. She was just naturally energized. She's funny. She's charismatic. She's personable. I mean, I've had 3 VPs before Michelle. Michelle puts it all together. She's professional. I mean, when I couldn't really talk last week, she ran meetings. She had everybody cracking up. You know, life is short. We don't know when our bakery ticket's going to get called. We don't know. Rich Gary did a phenomenal job. I love Rich. He's like a dad to me. He's unbelievable. We don't know when it's over, when the fat lady is going to sing for the last time. So when you get to a Zoom, pump yourself up. Shad Helmstetter wrote a book years ago, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, and 77% of what you're saying is going against you. 77%. It's cold out. The Orioles suck. I don't feel like going to 3 NRG meetings today. My boss is up we're videoing this, so I stopped there. You know what? Make every day a blessing. 2 years ago in March, I had triple bypass. March 13th. Today is March 4th. Jennifer came to visit me. Ronnie came to visit me. If Michelle knew me, I'm sure she would have flown in with, from Texas. 2 years, we've turned everything around. I called Jennifer and I said, hey, what do we do? She goes, go to Zoom. I don't like Zoom. Go sell copiers again. I love Zoom. I love Zoom, baby. Bring it. So you got to get yourself fired up for the meetings, because you can't fake it. It's got to be real. Do some self-talk. My name is Maurice Warner. I'm a networking machine. Everyone loves me. I'm going to serve the Houston group on Monday at 8:45 a.m. Central. I'm Mike Wiener's biggest fan, blah, 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 blah. Just get yourself fired up. We are under one banner. We don't talk about who's bombing who and politics and all the other stuff. COVID here, COVID there. It's networking, baby. We're here to network. We're here to have fun. We're here to be productive and effective. And we've got a cause. It's not my company only. We're all in the same banner. I want your success probably as much as you do, if not more. Michelle and I talk about that. We're like, what's up with JoJo? He's not coming to the meetings. He said he wanted to blow his business up. Have a pen and paper ready. I do Zooms and like, hold on, I need a pen. I mean, your pen it should be there on your desk. The other thing, have some water. This thing is full of ice and water. We're doing a lot of talking. You're going to lose your voice. It's going to go dry. You're going to cough. Keep water with you. You should be, Rich Gary will back me up. You should be hydrated, right, Rich? Cell phones off. You want to put the volume down so that we don't hear it going off. If you've got another phone in the house, try to, I know they have that DND on corporate phones, do not disturb if you're in an office, but you want to keep the distractions down. Attitude of gratitude. You know what? I'm grateful I got the rash and the itching. I'm grateful it hit my knee and below and not above. I'm grateful that it was 2 weeks ago and not now. I'm grateful that God gave me a warning signal to slow up. You see how I turned it around? Think about what you're bitching about. There's people that can't walk. So much stuff. I wish I could read my handwriting. How can I help? People come to me and they go, Mike, I'm not making enough money. I'm not getting enough leads. I got bills. I got this. I got, and I go, are you really interested in making more money? Yeah, Mike, I am. Go serve more people. When I'm stressed, and I haven't been, I think the rash was a good stress, Jen. You told me we can have rashes from good. I'm not stressed. You know why? Because I know that the man upstairs or the woman upstairs, because we don't really know about God, if it's female or male, God upstairs is going to take care of us. And when our time is done, he's going to still take care of us. So I'm always upbeat. I'm always like, who can I serve? When John Coleman and I just hit it off, I like the guy. He's a great guy, probably a hell of a lot younger than me, probably more energy, probably can throw it. You can't throw a knuckleball better than me, but you probably can field a baseball. Michelle said you need to put your glove on the ground. I made the baseball team. Here's Cynthia's my high school story. Everyone that was made the baseball team played on the basketball team. You know why? Because the coach for basketball coached baseball. I knew that going in. I worked with my dad, and I was able to field every ground ball. Though no ball was getting by me, and I made the team as a backup. I was probably one of 6 kids that didn't play on the basketball team, but I was going to make that team for life. I think I'm done. But, you know, think about, you want to get yourself pumped up. I mean, it can be the theme to Rocky. You can use me. I talked about using music, and I know a lot of you are into music. What's your go-to song when you're in the car, Mike Martin, and you're driving down the highway, and it's 83 degrees in Houston, and you open the sunroof, you open the windows. What's going to be in there? Is it Footloose? Is it Rocky? Is it The Club Can't Even Handle Me Right Now? Flow Rida? See, John, I can bring it. Is it Usher? What is it? Is it Pitbull? You know, I don't know rap as well. I'm more dance. I'm about dance. 70s, 80s, you know, there's some new lady out. I'll tell you who she is next week, but she's on I keep hearing her music. What's your go-to song? What's your go-to exercise? Is it the treadmill? Is it walking? You know, I know in Maryland it's going to be warm this weekend. Get out and walk. We're doing a lot of energy on Zoom. If you don't, you know, Rich Gary, back me up. If you don't take care of you, there is no you. People are counting on me to come in and, you know, run the meetings and do what I need to do. I will tell you this, in the month of March and April, Michelle is going to take off a week and I'm going to take off a week, and we're going to do different weeks. So, you know, I might ask some of you to jump on more. The energy that we're putting out, it's a lot of energy, and we're probably going to do that once a quarter. I mean, I'm going to be on Facebook and LinkedIn, probably work on groups that need some extra work. But the effort, I mean, I respect Michelle. I don't know how she does it, because you guys ask me how I do it. I don't know. It's just, I will not let you down. I mean, I would run meetings from a hospital room if I had to. Ronnie will tell you, I had my tablet with me, you know, 3 days before and 2 days after the triple bypass. I am, if you watch the Rocky movies, that's me. You know, never quit, never say no. Have a wife that, you know, Adrian, you can't win. Remember that in the movie? You can't win. You know what I do, Cynthia? I use all of it, the good, the bad, the indifferent, to motivate me. Someone tells me I can't do it. Someone told me nobody would buy an NRG membership on Zoom. One of my best friends, when I was in the hospital, I disconnected. I don't need that, you know what, in my world. And if someone's telling you you can't do it, evaluate. Is that someone you want with you? I'm way off tangent, but you know, you want people around you that love you and support you. And I mean, anyone that comes in energy, I don't care what they do. You know, I mean, and Jennifer, you were talking about Dave Loritzen before. He had a Mary Kay rep give a referral to an, you know, Under Armour. So, you know, Dave's been with me almost since the beginning, 5 jobs. He comes back. I mean, if you're new with me, you know, it's people go into Anita Ferguson, if she's still here, they go into withdrawal. It's worse than COVID. I mean, NRG withdrawal, Mike Martin, there's no prescription for it except to get on Zoom. And I'm being funny, but, you know, we're going to wrap up here. I wish everyone a great weekend. Had a great time at the Extravaganza. I love everybody here. You guys are great. You know, NRG is the members. It's not Mike Weiner. Yeah, I bring the energy and I bring my personality and my chutzpah, use a Yiddish word for Maurice. You know what chutzpah is and you know, all that stuff. But, you know, it's the Michelle Wilsons, it's the Jennifer Garcias, it's the Lisa Rodinos, it's every single person. We all come together under a banner to grow, to build. We got families to take care of. And, you know, think about people you can talk to. We got guests, you know, NRG. This will be probably our second biggest week, maybe our first biggest week since Zoom. We are growing. We're growing at unprecedented heights, but I want all of you to grow together. You know, Mike Smith, you got so much talent. That info is incredible. I use the info. If you haven't met with Mike, meet with him. I mean, it's and Joy, if you haven't put the info in my chat, if you can do that, that would be great. And the document, if we have that, about the expansion directors, we have about 32 expansion directors. We just added Jason Levine and we added Mike from Chicago, but we're creating an area on the website. So when people go to nrg.online and check the website, your smiling face is going to be there. We're going to have everyone there. So You know, if you're not an expansion director, reach out to me. I think we are going to wrap up. I want to thank everybody, sponsors. Cynthia, great job. You got everybody fired up. Reach out to the people that spoke, support them. You know, it's a
Mike, I
cumulative
just want
effort.
to let everyone know there's a workbook in the chat that they can download from me. Little workbook. So I just want to let everybody know that.
I want to thank Julie and Jennifer and Michelle especially. You guys have done so much stuff behind the scenes. People don't even know. And you know, Michelle, thanks for being my VP. Love you to death. Julie, I know I scare you sometimes, but you're doing a great job. And Jennifer, Jennifer's Jennifer. If you haven't had a Reiki session, you don't want to die without a Reiki session. Jennifer's done medium readings for me too. And you can believe it or not believe it, but she knew my grandmother knitted Afghans. So go figure that one. I mean, there's no way it's bogus. There's a different frequency. There's a different frequency. She's got a special, I think a lot of us have it, but probably can't harness it. Jennifer knows how to harness that talent. So, you know, but Michelle, you're with me the most. I mean, Michelle knew when I wasn't feeling well last week. And thank God recovered. I'm resting and, you know, doing my thing. But I'm going to say over and out. Great seeing everybody. I'm going to turn off the recording if a couple of you want to hang for whatever. But great job to everybody. It was the best